any pictures to show us, any of the kits from previously, then send them into studio@hochanda.com, or any questions as well, because I know we were going to give a shout out to some people too.
We are indeed, yes. Yes, we'd like to say hello to Veronique in France.
Hello, if you're watching from France.
And also to the craft group that meets at the photographic studio in Clock House.
Okay.
They're an art group and they meet, and I go down there sometimes for my photography, and we all have a laugh together.
Aww.
And it's huge fun, so hello to everybody there.
That's so nice. So, yes, hello from me too. All right, then, so we're going to carry on. Now, we've got... Ooh, knocked the lid off. Right, we've got options here, because you can either get these two together as a pair, and it's the Woodland Cottage, this one, and the tartan. And again, you've made them so the roofs come off.
The roofs come off, yes.
See, I think these are really nice little boxes to keep rings in.
Yes, that's right. Or they could go on a special dining table. You know,
yes.
That would be nice.
Oh, table presents. You know, we do that every year for Christmas.
Do you?
Yeah. So it's a lovely little thing. Could have some chockies in here, couldn't you? So have a little look at the Woodland Cottage to see if you like this one. And then if I bring this one in, this is your tartan. I love the little Scotties.
Yes, Scotties are another great love of ours.
I see. Scotties and penguins. Scotties and penguins. So this is your tartan, this is a Woodland. You can either get these two together for $17.99, and a third of the stock of that option is gone. Now, you can go for these individually. They're at the bottom, the side of the screen now, just coming onto the screen. Obviously, you get a couple of pounds off if you go for the both, so that's your best option. But if you do just want the one, it's $9.99 under the same item number, which is 454412.
And we're going to have some fun with these at Nutmeg, I think, Alex. Yes. They're the start of a new town. We're having a new town, and we're going to make it of little paper houses like this. So watch this space.
OK.
We'll hope to introduce several more. Yes.
So is this literally the first two from this new village?
That's right, yes. These two and the larger one that we're going to show as well.
Well, you could start collecting them all. That would be really good. Next one, then, we've got the Rose Tree House. I love this soft, subtle rose. It's actually the... now, this is paper, isn't it? You were talking about earlier.
It's paper, yes. It is a very pale pink.
Yes,
if you put it against the white, you can see. It's actually a very pale pink. I don't want to ruin
the display. There we go. You can see that difference. There we go. So the actual paper is white. And it's interesting seeing this, you saying that it's paper, because it's such a heavy weight. You would think it was almost a plastic. It's, you know... You
would, yes. It's a very robust product. When you talk to people about stitching on paper, they always think of the sort of paper that you put in a photocopier. And they say, oh, you know, that... Oh, no. But it's not like that.
No.
It's very tough. It will stand up to a lot of use. You do have to be careful not to get it wet.
OK.
But apart from that, it's a really good product, and you can do so many different things with it.
And then I will just turn this around for you to view the house, just so you can see all that detail. Is this another one? Yes, there we go, with the lid that comes off. So this one is $14.99, 594310. And then last but not least, we've got some card kits, which I think are so stunning. We've got different ways for you to buy these. You buy them in sets of 2. So you can see all 4 here, and then we'll have a nice little look at them in detail. First one is the castle. The castle and the church are my favourites.
Oh, right.
They're really pretty, because you've got such detail, and they really are oldie-worldy, aren't they?
Yes, and these 4 were actually designed as a set.
OK.
So they've all got a border worked in the same colour.
Yes.
And there are very similar colours in all of them, so you could have them all together. And if you didn't want to use them as cards, they would actually make good postcards or good pictures. And, you know, because it's the same sort of colour range being used and similar colours in the border, it does mean you've got lots of options with these.
That's really good. So, the next one we can show you is the windmill. Really like that. You can see what Meg's saying now about those lovely borders. Next one coming up is the lovely little cottage. I can see the running theme through them, definitely. And then last but not least, my favourite, this is the church. Look at all this detail, it's beautiful. So here are the ways that you can buy these in sets of 2. You can either go for the church and the castle, You can go for the windmill and the cottage, the church and the windmill, or you can go for the cottage and the castle. There we go, I feel like I'm directing planes. So each duo is just £14.99. 044 855 is your number. So you can either call us 01733602000, or here's the website, so you can check out all of the other kits, because we've got lots backed by popular demand from Nutmeg there. And have a little look through. And as I said, if you've got anything that you would like to show us, please feel free, because we love your inspiration. We love seeing what you've been doing. So, Meg, for this first demonstration, you're going to do the penguin kit. I love the colours. I love the pinks and the greys. They work really well together.
I'm really glad you said that,
Yeah.
Alex. And what we're going to do is actually have a bit of a cross-stitch workshop.
This is good, because we've got new people to cross-stitch every single day.
That's right. And we get asked lots and lots of questions at Nutmeg. So we're going to try and cover some of the most popular questions.
Wonderful.
And we hope that people might ring in with their own questions or queries. We always like people to contact us at Nutmeg if they've got any worries, any questions or queries. Just contact us. We'll do whatever we can to help. There's usually somebody on the end of the phone if you ring the Nutmeg number.
Yeah.
But we thought we'd try and cover the most popular questions at the moment. So I've got lots of things set up here, and it will look really weird to anybody at the moment. This is the chart that we're going to work from. Now,
If I bring this in, there we go. So it's larger.
Yes, that's right. At the top here, we've got a chart which shows the whole of the walls.
Yeah.
But that one would be a bit small to work from. You'd be screwing up your eyes a lot.
Okay, we don't want that. There it is. That's that top part you were just showing.
So we've given you a much bigger chart, but because it's bigger, it's got to go on two sides.
Oh, yes, I see.
You see? So this is how you set up your stitching, but this is the one you work from.
Right.
To actually do the stitching.
That's really thoughtful, though. That's great, because you can see absolutely everything you need to, as you said. Brilliant.
And also, there is another chart in this kit. People sometimes have problems with backstitch. They do worry about backstitch. And on a black and white chart, you can only give a different style for each colour of backstitch. And we've done that and explained in the key how it works. But we've also given you a much smaller chart with the backstitch actually drawn in colour.
Wonderful.
So you can see that. You wouldn't want to work from it because it is too small, but you can see where the colours of backstitch are.
That's great. You thought about everything.
I hope we have.
Yes.
But we're on the end of a phone if we've forgotten anything. Now, here we are.
Yep.
And I'm going to talk first of all about preparing your fabric. Now, most people, they'll open a kit, they want to get going straight away, but preparing it really does act as a troubleshooting method for the future. It's a good idea to do that. So if you look here, you see this is the outline.
Okay.
And I've actually tacked it onto the fabric.
Yes.
Now, most people will be looking at that, if they've got any experience with cross-stitch, and saying, why has she put it at the bottom? It should be in the middle of the fabric there. And normally it would be.
Yes.
When you stitch a picture, you always place it in the middle of the fabric, don't you?
It is the law.
But this one has to be constructed into a house afterwards.
I see.
And on this particular design, not all designs are like this, but on this particular one, there's going to be a gap between the walls and the inner lining. Can we have a look at the model?
Please
I can
do,
show
yes.
you.
Yep, that's good. There we are.
So if we take the lid off here and you have a look inside,
Okay.
you'll see that there's a lining.
Yes.
This one is effectively made by making a box and then a slightly smaller box.
Yep.
And you put one inside the other. It makes it very firm and stiff, gives it a lot of rigidity, but the smaller one is going to be a way down. So when you come to construct it, you need to have a depth of fabric behind the stitched walls. So that's why we've done that.
Makes sense. It's good to see that visually, actually. Yeah.
Yes. So we explain in the instructions as well. Don't worry if you miss anything that I say here, because it should be in the instructions. But I just thought I'd explain to all those experienced cross-stitchers who have a look at it and say, oh, she's done that wrong. So this is what we've done. We've marked out the 4 walls. I use a contrasting tacking thread, and I always do 2 stitches in and 2 stitches out this way. It means that when you come to count, now I need to be 5 in and 4 down for this particular stitch. It's much easier to count because the tacking stitches are in 2s.
Yeah.
And the other thing I always do is mark the corners. If you look here...
I'll bring this one back in. Yeah.
You'll see that there's a central stitch at each of the corners. That's where it goes round. That's where it folds round. There's a central square there, and I've marked each of those. That will just help me to place everything properly, and it will help me get things right.
I love all these hints and tips. This is fabulous. Okay, yeah.
That's great. And also, you can see at the bottom here, I hope, where there isn't any tacking. Now, that's because when I come to stitch that bit, I just snip it out, just a little bit. With my scissors, I'll snip that out because I'm going to stitch along there.
So I want to tie it in.
Yeah, so I can remove it. So put in your tacking, remove it when you need to, but you really will be glad that you did that. It really does help you to get everything right.
Okay.
Good. So we've done that. Now the next thing people will say is start your stitching in the middle.
Yeah.
Actually, this is the middle line here.
Oh, yes. We can do, I'll just slide that in. Just see it there.
And if you look at it carefully, there isn't anything in the middle.
Ah.
Absolutely nothing. So what I'd suggest with this particular design is that you work each wall from the middle.
Right.
But don't worry too much about stitching in the middle to start with. That's this line here. The middle is going to be about there, so let's start with the garlands.
That makes sense, yes.
It makes it much easier. Now, another question people will be saying to themselves is, why isn't that in a frame? Now, I think frames are very much a personal choice.
Yes, yeah.
There are all sorts of different ones on the market, and you want to choose the one that you're comfortable with. But quite a few stitchers actually find they're not comfortable with a frame at all. Now, you have to be careful that you don't distort your stitching if you're not using a frame. I'm one of those people who is never comfortable with a frame.
Right.
So I like to have it in my hand, and that's how I stitch. But because I get through these things fairly quickly, because we have to provide designs quite often, we can get away with it.
Okay.
So be careful about choosing a frame. And use one that you're comfortable with. Now, a lot of our designs are in a rectangle like this, and there is a company that will provide different lengths. So, for example, you'd buy 2 lengths 7 inches long and 2 lengths 15 inches long and slot them together.
Oh, okay, you make them
Yes.
yourself.
And that works well for our designs. So think about your frame. A round one probably wouldn't be suitable.
No, I was just thinking that.
You'd probably need a rectangular one, and you can get one that as I say, is custom made for the size that you want. And then if you're doing one of our much smaller ones, you can get 3-inch lengths and 9-inch lengths, perhaps something like that, you know? So do use a frame that you're comfortable with.
Quickly, just to let you know, we've had a lovely message from Ivy. Hello, Ivy.
Oh,
is she somebody
Ivy.
you know?
Yes, Ivy Toombs. Yes, that's lovely.
Yes, I think you even rang in, I believe, and she said, loving watching the show, wishes you a Merry Christmas.
Oh, how nice.
And she's just finished the night before Christmas.
Oh, bless her heart. We did that in August. We had that one here in August. Ivy, it's lovely to hear from you. It's really lovely, and Merry Christmas to you too.
Thank you, Ivy, for taking the time to ring in as well. We appreciate it. OK, next step.
Right, where are we? Yes. Now, this is another thing that people will say.
OK.
Why haven't I whip-stitched round the corner, or round all the outside edge? Now, that
because
again,
of fraying?
Yes. Now, again, I do these things really quickly, and I usually get away with it without fraying, but you might want to whip stitch all around the edge just to stop that. But if you don't want to, you can use a product called Fray Check.
Okay.
And that will just stop it all fraying.
Oh, I like this. I have not heard of this. This is brilliant, Meg. Thank you. Right, that's what I'll be doing. Because I do a bit of a cardinal sin. Please don't tell me off. But I'll put, you know, the masking tape.
Oh, that's a good idea.
But then you get a residue, that's the thing.
Do you?
So, yeah. And when you pull it off, it frays a bit anyway. But so, what was it called again?
It's called Fray Check.
Fray Check, right. That'll be on my shopping list. Secret Santa, there you go.
Yes, so there are usually ways round all the rules that people tell you.
Okay.
And that's another one for you. Right, now, we're beginning to stitch now.
Okay.
You can see I've got needles and colours.
I know, all on the
over
go.
here. Yeah. Actually, this is a system that was developed by Jane Greenough. She calls it Stitch and Park.
Okay.
You use it where you're using several colours in the same area. You stitch with one, and then instead of fastening it off, because you're going to need it again in a minute, you park the needle and introduce another one, a different colour, and stitch again. Now, I always get confused with this and call it park and ride.
But we know what you mean. Yeah.
But stitch and park can work as long as you're not using too many colours at the same time. Now, we're going to begin to stitch, and we're going to begin here.
I'll bring this in again so you can see.
Door. Yes.
Here it is, yeah.
Now, let me just check on this. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
2, 4. This is going to be our first cross stitch here for the door.
So what's your recommendation with, do you prefer to do one full cross, or do you like to do dash, 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 dash,
dot, 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 yeah. Now, I swear by completing each cross at one time. Now, I'm going to turn this over, and you'll see that I haven't tied a knot. If I was doing something here, I would run it into the back, but doing something where there's no other stitching around is a lot more difficult. So I'm starting by leaving a tail here.
Yeah.
No knots.
And just going back to the completing the full cross, do you feel it just gives you a neater finish?
I think it does.
Yes, yeah.
I think as well it helps you see your progress better. And I'm all for anything that's going to sort of help you connect with your stitching, you know, because one of the things we all really enjoy when we do this is seeing the picture come out. You see it come out of the fabric. When you stitch these penguins, gradually they come out and grin at you, you know, and it's such fun.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, so I always swear by doing each stitch individually. I think it works better, really. So here I am.
Is this the door frame?
This is the door itself.
Oh, the door itself, okay.
And if you can see, here's my long tail.
Yeah.
And I'm just catching that in as I go. So when you begin to stitch, there won't be anything else on the fabric. How do you start? Don't tie a knot in it.
Yeah.
It will buckle your fabric, and when you need it to be smooth and stretched over the walls for the penguin house, or if you're doing a picture, perhaps wildflowers, and you want to stretch it and have it framed, that little knot will be noticeable. So try to avoid it if you possibly can, and work your stitches so that you catch the end in.
Yeah.
Now, here we are. I can trim this off now.
Yeah, because
it won't come free. That's fine, and that will help the back be quite neat. So I've stitched that one. Now I'm going to park it.
Yeah. There is something very pleasing, isn't there, about when you turn your work over on the wrong side, even though nobody's going to see it, but there's something, you feel a nice sense of achievement. Look how neat that is. Yeah.
That's right, yes. So working in the middle or starting completely, that's the way to do it, with an end. And when you're fastening off your thread, you run it into the back where stitches have already been worked.
Right.
And again, just snip it off.
Okay.
It won't come free then.
Now, we've had a lovely email from Joan. Hello, good morning. I was thinking it's afternoon. Good morning, Joan. Now, you wanted to show some cushion pictures, but they don't seem to have come through. We'd love to see them, wouldn't we?
Would,
I don't know if you can try again to send them. Wonderful. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Now, I'm going to talk about keeping the back tidy as well.
Yeah.
And I will say that however long you've been cross-stitching, you will always have knots forming in your thread. It always happens.
That pesky thread.
Yeah, it always does. So don't worry too much about that sort of thing. Don't worry too much about keeping your back tidy.
Right.
Now, I would always say to somebody, if you're entering a competition, if you're going to be entering your village show, perhaps, we have lots of stitchers tell us that they work out designs and put them in their village shows.
Yeah.
It's huge fun. Anything like that, then you've got to stick to all the rules. You have to, and you have to have your back really neat and tidy.
Okay.
But if you're stitching it for yourself,
yes,
just enjoy it. Just
don't be
enjoy
too
it.
hard on yourself.
No, exactly. Yeah. It's your hobby.
Yeah.
You know, it's what you do for relaxation. So don't worry. You turn it over. You think, oh dear, it doesn't look too good.
Nobody's going to check it, especially if it's for yourself.
No, at Nutmeg, it's not like homework. We don't come around and give you an A-. So, you know, just put your enjoyment first before anything else. And when you make mistakes, think about how you're going to cope with that. Now, for example, supposing I read the chart wrong, and I worked a penguin with a pink flipper.
Okay.
Now, that you're not going to be able to cover that up.
Right.
You're going to have to take the thread out and stitch it in the right colour. But supposing when I was working this penguin here, I missed out a line and he was one shorter than he should be. Now, don't worry about that. Don't unpick it and do it all again. He's just going to be slightly shorter.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
No,
you know?
He's not going to mind.
No. And do think, are you really tired? Do you need a cup of tea?
Yes.
You know, don't worry about things too much. Most mistakes can be dealt with.
Yes.
It doesn't mean the end of the world. Now, another thing we're going to look at now is some fractional stitches.
Right, okay.
Now, do you like fractional stitches?
We're talking the half ones.
Yeah, the quarter ones.
Well, if a kit's got them, I'll do them.
Exactly,
but I tend to find I don't make a very neat job of it, so they end up being quite bobbly.
Yeah.
So, any advice on that would be really good.
Well, this one's not so hard because it's worked on 18 count. So although that can be a bit hard on the eyes, you're stitching it all with one thread, so you're less likely to have that bobbly problem. Now, we use fractionals so that we will make a much better shape. If you look again at this chart, you can see lots of places where there are fractionals.
There's a good one.
Yeah, just here, going around the penguin's head, his beak, his feet, his back as well. Now, if you're worried about them, if you really hate it, don't worry, just put in an ordinary stitch.
Right.
It won't look the same. But if you want that really smooth shape, then fractionals are the way to do it.
Okay, let's have a little look.
You will find that to indicate a fractional, we put the symbol, a much smaller symbol, in the corner.
Oh, sorry, our director. I've moved it out of shot. There it is. You can see that one's much smaller than that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So that indicates that you're doing a fractional there. Now, here I am. If we turn this over, Alex, this is the bit that we're doing here.
Oh, I'm just bringing that in. Here he is. Just here. Oh, hang on. Because of the L. Yeah, there we go. This bit, okay.
This bit here, yes. Now, this is our shy lady penguin. She's really taken aback by this fellow here who's offering her a gift and clearly has romantic ideas on his mind.
Yes, the little hearts there.
But to get this side of her head...
Are we all right to move... if I move this back out again and we can pop your hands under the overhead?
Right.
Lovely.
Now, you can see here, this is a fractional here, then there's a full stitch, then there's another fractional, and we're going to do this one. So it comes in from the corner
Yep.
into the centre of the square. So you're actually piercing the fabric then. Feels quite odd because, of course, all full cross stitches go through the holes in the corners.
Yes.
And fractionals go into the centre. Here we go. Oh, that one's a bit cockeyed.
Mm-hmm.
So normally I would take that one out and do it again. But for the purposes of the demonstration, we'll just leave that one in.
Okay.
Now we've got a full stitch.
Yep.
2 full stitches. And then we're going to do another couple of fractionals. And that will just give us the gentle shape of the penguin's head with a little curve all round the top.
Oh, that's looking really good.
So here we go.
That's another full one.
That's a full one. Then we're going to do some more fractionals to get the curve in.
So you go right into that centre. Yeah.
There we are. And then we'll carry on down here. There's a bit more. Sorry.
That's all right. There we go.
There's a bit more with fractional stitches here.
Yeah.
And to get the slope of her flipper there. Do practice. Do practice them. If you're worried about them, do some practicing on an odd piece of fabric.
Okay.
Because they do make a real difference to the look of things.
That's lovely. I tell you what, Meg, because we're halfway through, just for anybody joining us, I'll do a quick recap and then I'll come back and join you.
That's great.
Have a look on the website for everything that we've got at hochanda.com because we've got some back by popular demands. Also, some of the items do have a freedom discount. So wherever you see a blue banner, that will have some more money off. So it's well worth being a member. I'm learning heaps on this show, even though I've done cross-stitch for a long time. It's so nice to get different people's hints and tips, isn't it? I like this. Now, we've got on the show these 2 little cottages. Just so sweet, I love them. Now, you can buy them either together, and obviously if you go for the 2, you'll get a little bit more money off. But you can buy them individually as well. So I will give you a little tour. This is the tartan cottage with our Scotty dogs. And there's the lamppost. There we are. Let's turn this. There's a lot of dogs, I have to say. They've got a lot of Scotties. And you can see there's even a few French knots. I love the French knots. I was saying this to Meg earlier. And then the little roof will come off. So this could be a fabulous little gift box. So that is your tartan. And then you've also got the woodland. I'll have to share with you what they're saying. The voices in my head, they're going, I reckon that's a 2 up, 2 down. No, I reckon that's open plan. That's stuff they say. I tell you what. There we go. Let me just show you the woodland cottage. Okay, what's this one then, guys? It's got a garden out the back, right? A big Christmas tree, they're saying. Yeah, big Christmas tree you'll get in here. I tell you what's really nice. Oh, apparently it's got 2 bathrooms inside. I tell you what's really nice, though, because Meg was saying that with these are the start of a new village that she's going to be bringing out. So these are the first 2. Oh, yes, you could change the roof, Emily, if you wanted to. Yes, absolutely. There you go. Why not? So, anyway, if you get the 2 together, obviously you get everything that you need in the kit. Then it's £17.99. We are half the stock gone if you go for the 2 together. Excuse me. You can get them individually and they're £9.99 each as well. But that's under a different item number. Okay. Item number is just coming on for the individuals. There we go, £9.99. 454 412. Okay, next one. We have got the Rose Tree House. So this one's a bit of a larger construction. And the actual paper is made of a soft pink. And it is perforated paper, it's not a material, and it's very, very durable. So imagine you're buying a house. Let's give you a tour of this one then. There we go. So, yeah, this one's a big one. You're going to have a bit of a bigger budget, take out a bigger mortgage. There we go. Oh, apparently this one's got a couple of reception rooms in. Ensuite upstairs. Oh, I'll tell you what, the guys in the gallery. But this is really nice because the, look, the roof comes off. Oh, right, apparently this one, the reason why it's bigger is because it's got a loft conversion. Love it. There you go, it's really pretty. So you get everything that you need 14.99. 594310 is your item number. Oh dear, and last but not least, right, we've got the card kits. I love these. I think they're so pretty, and they do all work together. You can buy them in sets of 2. Here's the first one with the castle. It's very, very... Oh, actually, we'll show you the full lot, and then we'll show you the castle. So here it is, that wonderful castle. Check out all the detail, all the shading. It's very grand, isn't it? Even down to the borders all the way around. There we are. So that's one of them. Second one that we've got for you is the windmill. This one's nice. I like the shape of it. It's different, isn't it? There we go. That's the windmill. Next one, we've got the cottage. And then last but not least, we have got the church, which I think is gorgeous. Isn't this beautiful? Now, the ways that you can buy this, you can either go for the church and the castle, which is the most popular. That's the one I would pick. I love those two. Then you can go for the cottage and the windmill, or you can go for the church and windmill, or the cottage and the castle, and the exits are here, here and here. 14.99 for those. 044855 is your item number. Here's the website again at hochanda.com, so you can check all the lovely items that we've got out. Now, this is called the Hello Boys cross-stitch card kit. And this one is just $9.99. Whoa, just $7.99 if you're a Freedom member. Bargain. That's a lovely one. So your item number is 400184 if you want to go for that. Would you say that one's a beginner's one, Meg?
That one's not too difficult.
Okay.
It might be an ideal New Year card because that pig definitely knows how to party.
Okay. I like it. So where are we up to then, Meg?
Right, we're going to have a quick look at another question that people often ask us. How many stitches can I stretch the thread over at the back?
Oh, right.
If, for example, if we look again here,
yeah.
This is the swags that's being put around the Penguin Hall, and it's got silver flowers with a pink centre. Now, people would say to me, right, I stitched this one and I stitched this one. Can I stretch it over to that one? Mm-hmm. Now, you have to be very careful with that. You can stitch the first one.
Yeah.
Then I would probably go straight into the one after that because that's not stretching your thread too far.
Mm-hmm. I see. Ah, yes. Because otherwise, what, can you pull it too taut at the back? Would it distort it?
Yes, you have to be careful with that. But if you want to go several different places, mm-hmm. it's fine, providing you've got stitches at the back that you can thread through. So to do the next flower, the centre of the next flower, I'm just going to run my needle through the back there. Mm-hmm. So then I can come up in the right place. I don't have to go to all the kerfuffle of fastening it off and starting again. But the thread is run through, so it's not going to pull the fabric in to buckle it. Mm-hmm. Now, if you've got one stitch here and one stitch here, for example, you've got no choice.
Yeah, you've got to fasten off.
You've got to fasten off and try again. But if it's not too big a distance, do the ones that are close together, and then the ones that are a bit further apart, run your thread through the back.
Okay.
Now, I'm just going to fasten that off because I'm getting so many different colours. Yeah.
Now, I think we had another email come in.
Oh, that's great.
From Jane, and she was asking that she likes to stitch on linen.
Yeah.
By any chance, would you do the instructions, or do you do the instructions like individually, or you just sell them as kits?
We just sell them as kits.
Okie dokie.
Yes.
All right, thank you though. Have we had our photos back yet? Any? Yes. Yeah, we need to show them. That's what I was, sorry, just chatting to the... Yes. All right, this is from Joan. Here we go. Look at this, that's beautiful. Wow, 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 wow. Thank you for taking the time to send this in. Look at all those colours, that's wonderful.
Oh, that's great. And kingfishers So special, aren't they, as birds? Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for sending that.
That's lovely. Yes, thank you so much.
Right then, so next bit.
Right, now we're going to talk about backstitch.
Okay.
Now, I know people who hate backstitching. They love the cross stitch, they hate the backstitch. But really, it is an essential part. Now, we use backstitch in two ways. We use it as a distinctive part of the design itself.
Okay.
And you can see that where we've put the brickwork in.
Right.
That's all backstitched. It gives the impression...
We'll bring this in.
Here we are.
Yep.
It gives the impression of the brickwork.
Oh, it looks good, doesn't it? Very effective.
No cross stitch on there at all, just that backstitch, but it gives the whole feel of it.
Okay.
So that's one of the ways in which we use backstitch. The other way we use it is, as you see here, to outline things. Now, in this particular design, most of the outlining is in black, and that gives it a cartoon feel, you know, so it sort of adds to the humour of the piece.
Yes.
Because the pieces are made to look a bit like cartoons. Now, you can see here and here, we've outlined the window in black and put the separate panes in black. This part here is where you'll see why the backstitch is so needed. It's this part here where the two naughty penguins are looking out the window. You can see it here.
Yeah.
Now, I've stitched both the penguins in cross stitch, but I've only backstitched one, and you can see there, Alex, why it's so essential.
Big difference, yeah. He's you can't tell what he is.
No,
not
you
really.
wouldn't know what he was.
Okay.
But this one you can see, it's a naughty penguin. He's got his beak sticking out and his head sticking out, and he's having a good look to see what's going on. So there he is. Now I'm going to stitch and park that needle.
Okay.
And go down to this one. This is the courting penguin. And we're just back stitching around him. As I say, that will give us a much clearer outline, and you will get a cartoon feel to him.
Oh, would we be all right just to move up slightly?
Yes, sorry.
There you go. No, no, not at all, not at all.
There we go. Now, I'll just show you here on the chart how we're actually backstitching. Most of these, it's a single stitch done, each stitch done one at a time.
Okay.
And each stitch is over one square, so it's beside one stitch.
Right.
But also, sometimes we need slopes. And a slope isn't always going to be from one corner to the next on a square. So I'll just show you here how we've got some back stitches over two squares.
Right.
They give a more gentle slope. So here we've got his chest and then his tummy coming down in a much more natural curve than if we did it all one at a time.
Very cute.
You know?
Yeah.
And the same on her flipper and here on her tummy. She's got a much more natural curve because we've done the backstitch over two squares rather than over one.
Okay.
So backstitch is used as part of the design, but also it's used to define things and give this cartoon feel to them. Now, the last thing I'm going to look at is putting on some beads.
Lovely. And then, because we're running out of time, it would be really good to look at the other kit as well, if that's all right.
We'll do this really quickly, Alex.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I'm using a beading needle here.
Do we get that in the kit?
You get that in the kit.
Good.
Where we can, we put beading needles in. We can't always if we're going to keep the price competitive.
Yeah.
But this is a special kit, so we've put the beading needles in. Now, you'll find the beads in a little plastic bag, and usually when I'm using them, I have a square of felt here.
Yeah.
And I put them on that, it stops them running around.
Good point, because on the glass mat... Yeah.
But I'm just going to put one or two out there. That's right. I forgot to bring any felt with me. And here's my beading needle. I'm using a thread that's the same colour as the bead. I don't know if you can see this, but it's
Diddy, isn't it?
it's very small. It's crystal and it's lined with silver.
Oh, wow.
So it looks like a little sparkle.
It does, yeah, it looks just there. There we go.
So I push the needle through the bead and run it down onto the fabric. And then I'm going to go back down there so that the bead is held with the side uppermost.
Yeah.
If you have the whole uppermost, you just don't see them. You need the side uppermost. So we're going to do that and then go on to the next one. But I think we'll leave it there, Alex,
Yeah.
and look at the
swap over.
paper kit that we're
That would be
doing.
lovely. Thank you. I tell you what, if you don't mind me reaching over,
Yeah, do.
because I'll show you. If you are just joining us, so this is what the project will eventually end up as. So this is our lovely penguin hall, and it's a beautiful kit. There's our penguins, they're courting. There's some little naughty penguins, they're all spying. Look, even out of the top. This is clearly the loft conversion. There we go. And then we've got the big Christmas tree and they're decorating it. And there you go. He's this one who's meant to be holding the ladder. He's not paying much attention. He's having a chat. There we go. And then we'll bring this one around. So here's the front of the house, and they're giving it a really nice decoration. And then inside, you can see the roof comes off, and you'll be able to pop lovely trinkets or whatever you fancy inside. That's beautiful. So this is $29.99, 435350. Okay, Meg. So you've swapped over. This is the castle.
This is the castle,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's worked on paper. So the preparation is going to be slightly different. But the biggest thing that stitchers will notice, if you've never stitched on paper before, you get it out of the pack, you have a look at it, it feels really alien.
It feels plastic, actually,
Yeah,
but it's nice.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're used to stitching on Aida or even weave, but this doesn't feel right at all.
Right.
And you'll find that you soon get over that feeling, but it does feel odd to start with. Now, again, we'd do some preparation. I would always suggest that you mark in the outside line before you start stitching. Now, on this chart, it's shown in blue, and the simple thing to do is get an ordinary lead pencil, mark in that blue line all the way around. That will stop you coming to grief later.
Okay.
If you don't get it centred properly on the paper, and there's not very much to spare here, we do the best we can, but there isn't a great deal to spare for this one. If you don't get it marked out properly, you get to the edge and you think, oh, I've run out of paper, and it's such a pity. So do mark it out first so you know you've got it in exactly the right place. Now, we've talked about this paper before. It's amazing. It doesn't fray. You can cut it, fold it. You can do all sorts of things. Stitching on it is basically the same as stitching on fabric, but there are differences too.
Yeah.
The holes are very obvious, so it's a good thing to do if you're tired, if you know your eyes are starting to go a bit. It's much easier to stitch on paper than a really fine Aida. But here we are. Here are the holes. You're going to stitch in exactly the same way. There's no difference to that, but you're using much thicker thread. So whereas with the penguins we were using one strand of the 6-stranded thread, with the castle we're using 3 strands.
And that'll all be in the instructions, won't it?
That's all in the instructions, yeah. We don't leave you on your own to work it out for yourself.
That's good.
So this is 3 strands. Now, earlier as well, we were talking about backstitch and using one strand to backstitch things. And generally, this is backstitched with one strand. All this border to look like ramparts, it is backstitched with one strand. But just here, we want to put in some backstitch around the windows so that it will look like coping. So we're using 3 strands here. So just make sure that you keep a careful eye on your chart and on the key so that you know how many strands you should be using. And using 3 here, it does look like a stone coping.
It does.
If we,
do you want to see this sample? So this is the finished one.
There we go.
This looks really good. I bring it in.
So there it is. So this is all backstitched with 3 strands.
Yep.
The birds are backstitched with 3 strands and all these markings on the castle. But this part is all backstitched with 1 strand. And,
right.
And the lines on the motar as well.
Oh, yes. Yeah. That's good. I love looking at the finished sample. Beautiful.
So apart from that, all the things we were talking about when we were doing Penguin Hall...
Same rules apply.
Will apply to this, yes. Don't put a knot in.
Yeah.
Start with a little tail on your thread and then weave it into the back. Start in the centre as far as possible.
Now, I'm just thinking, because obviously this one here... Oh, I see. I'm just looking at... So this is a cut line, is it?
That's it. And the instructions tell you that the blue line is the line you cut on.
Right.
The red line is the line you fold on.
Good stuff.
So with all our kits, our paper kits like this, we try to make sure that you've got these 2 bright coloured lines, one to cut on, one to fold on, so that you can see exactly how it's done.
That's brilliant. Look at that. So it's all very, very clear.
We try to make it clear.
Can beginners do this particular one?
I think that this sort of thing is a good one to start with. No fractionals.
No fractionals.
No French knots. So it's all full cross stitch and ordinary back stitch. The only difference is when you look at the sky, and all these are the same. They all have sky worked in a very pale blue.
Yes.
And all the sky is worked just as a half cross stitch.
Oh, okay.
You can see it on all 4 of these. It's just a half cross stitch. That's just the bottom stroke of the cross, and then you don't do the one on the top. And that just gives you a look of sky that is less substantial than the actual subjects of the cards.
Yeah.
So that's the only trick we've used with that one.
I see. Thank you, Meg. So these are so beautiful. You've got the different ways of buying these if you want to. You can go for the church and the castle together, the cottage and the windmill together, the church and the windmill, or the cottage and the castle. So that's really nice. Really nice choices you've got there. It's beautiful. So $14.99 is the price. 044855 is your item number. We've just got a few minutes remaining, so we'll do a quick little recap towards the end. Here's the website, and let's have a look at those little cottages. Aren't they so sweet? They're beautiful. Thank you for any of your pictures that you sent in and any of your lovely questions. It was really nice to hear from you. Meg, when are you next back in, actually? Have you got a date?
We haven't got a date yet, but I hope it'll be late spring.
Late spring, with some more fabulous designs, because obviously you need to take the time to work them out and do them.
That's right. We are working on things now.
Do you think there'll be more of these?
Oh, I think so, definitely. We'll see how people respond to them, but I think they're huge fun to do, and I think it would be such fun to have a little paper town standing on the shelf somewhere.
How nice is that? So this is the start of the paper town. They're lovely little sizes. There we go. So you've got the tartan one. And then again, I'll give you a nice little show round. There we go. I'll be your estate agent. So you've got the little Scotty dogs, and they're with the lamppost.
Oh, yes, sniffing the lamppost.
They are, aren't they? Look at this. And there's a lot of dogs they've got, these owners, haven't they? And it's got that wonderful tartan roof, which will come off, and you can pop some little trinkets and whatnot in there. I do like the little extra details. We were talking about this earlier, weren't we, Meg, of the... Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. If in doubt, fill it with a song. And the other option... Well, you can get these together, is the woodland. And again, I'll give you a little view round. Isn't that pretty? That's so lovely. So if you want to go for them together, the details are on screen. They're $17.99. Your item number is 035179. Or if you want to go for them individually, at the bottom of the screen, they are $9.99. very quickly then, let's show you the rose house, the rose tree house. So this one's a larger one. Yeah. This is the one they're saying that's had another loft conversion. Honestly, the stuff I listen to here. And there's lots of stairs. Maybe it's 3 floors.
Could be actually, yes. Or a lift.
Yes. Oh gosh, that would be very grand in the house, wouldn't it? So here you go. I'll give you a little view of this, our beautiful rose tree house. Now, if you would like to go for this one, it's just $14.99. Your item number is 594310. And as with everything, as with all of them, you get everything that you need in the kit, maybe just a little bit of thread for construction, and that's all you need to add in.
Glue stick for these.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, top tip, you said try not to use too wet a glue.
That's it, yes. Yes, you don't want a glue that's going to soak through the paper.
Okay.
That will ruin things. You need a glue that's fairly dry.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Meg. Really enjoyed this. And thank you, as I said once more, for you contacting us and sending your pictures in. And we'll see you very soon then.
I hope so.
Happy Christmas.
And happy Christmas to you, Alex.
I have to start saying that now because I won't see everybody. And coming up next, we have got Cross Stitch by Stitch Kits, and then we're digi-crafting with the one-day special, and then we've got paper sculpting with Sizzix. You can also catch Crafting Market on Sky 676.
Hello, my name's Kay, and together with my husband Alfie, we have a little stamp manufacturing company called Indigo Blue. We started off in our garden shed, and now we have a lovely family of people working together to make gorgeous rubber stamps. And now we're actually working with Hochanda, some like-minded people, to really bring all that inspiration to you at home.
Hi, I'm Emma.
And I'm Pam.
And we're from Quilters Trading Post. We've been open since 2007, so we're coming up to 10 years now.
We started our business in Cambridge, really, with a long-arm quilting machine. We decided we wanted to make a proper business of it, so we bought a shop in this area. We soon grew out of that because we became successful, and we bought a school, and now we're in the school.
We have 4 parts to our business. We have the quilting service, we run workshops, we sell patchwork and quilting threads, fabrics and notions, and we do patterns and books. That's our newest thing, and our favourite being our Crafters Carry-All.
We've really enjoyed being on Hochanda. It's made us famous, really. We've got lots of people who now come into the shop and tell us that they've seen us, and that they've enjoyed the demonstrations, and they've watched us over and over again.
Make sure you don't miss our shows here on Hochanda.
Hi, I'm Fiona Clayton from Crafter's Companion. I've been crafting for about 7 years now, having rediscovered my love of a childhood hobby. I'm delighted that I can share with you all my hints, tips and ideas, and here at Hochanda we're going to make sure that you really enjoy your crafting as well. So join me, Fiona Clayton, here on Hochanda.
Hello and a really good afternoon. It's just hit high noon in the crafting world, just gone 12 midday, and we're here with Julie as well. First appearance ever on Hochanda here, home of crafts, hobbies and arts. My name's Matt. It's lovely to have you company. Julie, welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited.
Yes, good, brilliant to have you here, because you bring with you not only your personality and your demonstrations, but also your amazing kits that you've got as well. I think they're brilliant, and we've had a good old look at them before the show.
We have.
Would you say to jump ahead on the website and have a little look at what we've got if you were watching at home to see all the choices and stuff?
And I love these. You know, we'll talk through them a little bit, but I tend to have 2 or 3 of these stashed in my kits because they're so quick to knock up.
And
so it's really good for, you know, oh gosh, I've forgotten someone's birthday in about a week and a half's time. So, you know, it takes about 16, 17 hours, depending on how quick or slow you are. But it doesn't take very long, so it's great to go, oh, and then make it for someone.
Yeah, and it's a handmade, finished article as well. At the end of the day, it's something beautiful to be able to give. So a quick project, if you want it to be quick, could you labour over them if you wanted to? Just take a little bit of time.
Yeah, but everyone's speed is different. So, but because we've got 4.5 holes per inch, basically, embroidery fabric, the background fabric, if you get a measuring tape and you measure an inch, however many holes there are, so you've heard of like 14 count Ada, 16 count Ada. So a 14 count Ada means there's 14 holes in an inch.
Right.
Okay. The higher the number, the smaller it is.
Yeah.
The denser it is, the more difficult it is.
Yeah.
These are only 4.5. So if you're like me and I have dexterity issues. I've got a few dodgy fingers and hands, so I struggle a little bit, but I don't with these. Yeah. Because the holes are so big, it's so quick to whip up, and it's a joy to do. And I love the yarn. Look,
the yarn is so beautiful.
Isn't that stunning?
Yeah, the yarn is lovely. This is cross stitch with yarn. If you've just tuned in, watching here with Julie, and it gives. We've got cushion kits for you with the cushion backs and cushion inserts. But what you're doing is this is the front of the cushion here, Julie, isn't it? We've got plenty to choose from as well. So to those that are briefly sort of watching with sort of half a bit of attention, and you're thinking cross stitch, oh my gosh, no, maybe for another day.
Proper easy.
You can get into it straight away. Cross stitch with yarn. So big, as you've already answered for us, Julie, 4 per inch, big holes, so you can see. 4.5 per inch. I do apologise.
And then it's hand painted. The print is hand painted on, so it's just really beautiful. And then your yarns have a slight sheen, so they've had something called mercerized. They've been mercerized, so it just gives it that glamorous, shiny, beautiful look. And you got a copper feel. Go on, run your.
Yeah, please do. I'm sort of leaning over, so going over here, but you have to really, don't you?
There's something really beautiful about it.
Yeah, but we were stroking the cushions, I think, because you had to nip out and go and get something, and me and my producer Lotte were like, these are tactile, aren't they?
And that's what's really lovely. And because you're using yarn, which means it's slightly thicker than embroidery thread, if you can see on here, you can see it's quite raised, can't you? Because you're using yarn, so it's so tactile, and you do just want to stroke it.
And we did. We've had a go on all the cushions. We've had a go on all of them. They're lovely. So you can feel the raised texture to it, and it's and that's thanks to the yarn. So what do we get in the actual kit then, Julie? Because we are jumping ahead and having a look at all the different ones.
Okay, so you will get your hand painted front piece.
Okay.
You will get a yarn, a needle for the yarn. Now, where this one is quite useful, if I put my finger on there like that, it's got quite a big eye. Okay, which makes it easier to thread in the thick yarn, and it's got a blunt end. And the reason it's got a blunt end is so that you don't accidentally, when you're going in, pierce the background fabric. Okay, so you're not going to hurt yourself. Unless you stub yourself.
Yeah, you wouldn't do that.
So you're not going to hurt yourself.
But you're not going to catch the background and go through it.
You get the full instructions. Okay, so you get everything you need to knock up the front. Now, we've got them on as cushions, but you could frame it. And you can have it on the wall. You could make it into a bag. You know these bags for life? With a hessian, with the background and everything. You could turn it into that. Beautiful. Really easy to do.
We sometimes, depending on how much time we've got at home, me and Mrs M, we make the bags out of our own calico.
Do you?
Sometimes buy packs of 10 or 20, depending on the time that we've got.
Brilliant.
But we've been screen printing ours, but maybe we need to start getting into the old cross-stitch with the yarn.
Have you ever done cross-stitch?
I've done a tiny little bit, but not with yarn and not with the... I think I might do this quite easily. I don't want to talk myself into a problem here.
I reckon you should have a go. So I reckon I'll start a little bit and then I'm going to pass it over to you. You're going to try it because then you can see how easy it is.
Okay, all right then, let's do it. We all want to go now. Everybody wants to go. Brilliant. You can have a go when you've got your kit as well and have a look. So Julie, what do you want to show us first of all then? So you've got your yarn, you've got your hand-painted background.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll take a piece. So I'm going to take this pale pink colour. Okay, you want to work with at the bottom. You've got indication of all the colours in there that you cross-reference with your yarns. So make sure that these always sit at the bottom, and you know that this is always your south and that's always your north. So I have loaded. I've got these hoops. And I loaded all of the yarns on there so that it doesn't become messy, it becomes easy to access. So all I'm going to do is take one of those loops, and I'm going to pull the whole thing off.
Easy,
nice and easy. Doesn't get knotted, or it shouldn't get knotted. let me show you what we're going to do. So we're going to low down needle. So it's a relatively thick yarn. So what I tend to do is fold that bit over and I pull it tight. And then I go like that. I need to get closer to me, my eyeballs.
Sorry, you're trying to show us as well.
Apologies, right, now, let me show you how to tie in your threads. So let's see where we're going to go. So we're going to go around here. We're going to start at the bottom there. So you've got to tie your thread in. So I tie a little bit in. Now the trick is to leave a little end like that. Don't snip it right up close. The reason for that, if this is going to be a cushion or a bag or anything that's going to be moved about and shaken and, you know, made nice, you need that little bit of movement, okay, so that it doesn't come undone. Now, the trick then is, I tend to go back on myself. So you can see I've come out here and I'm going to go back in, so I'm creating a little knot. That makes it doubly secured so that it doesn't come out. Okay, so I'm going to go through to there. So I'm now got a nice knot. I've got my chart of colours at the bottom. Now this is cross stitch, and the trick with cross stitch, so tapestry, you tend to go one way. Okay. Cross stitch, you're going to go two ways. Yep. So as long as, whichever way you do it, I tend to go like that and like that. You can go like that and like that if you want to. Okay. Whichever way you do, just make sure you do that consistently and stick to it.
Got you.
So because I'm showing you different areas, I'm kind of dotting it around, but what I tend to do when I'm doing a project, I'm right-handed. So I start at the top left. If you're left-handed, you'll start at the top right. Being that, if you start here or start at the bottom, every time you pass your hand over it, okay, to get to things, you're going to rub on any dirt that you have on your hands or on your sleeve. If you start here and work down, you're not constantly moving
That's a really good
over.
Idea.
You're working.
It's a great tip. Protect your project.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we are doing cross stitch. So I'm going to come out here. So you're literally following your colour. Now with cross stitch, you can go north and south or east or west. It's totally up to you. So in this term, I'm going to go up. So I'm going to go from the bottom left to the top right. Okay.
Is that what you've probably been doing the rest of the project? You said once you decided you stick with it.
Absolutely. And then I'm going to go bottom right, top left.
Okay.
That's it.
So you've gone boom, boom.
That's
like
exactly. That is it, guys. I mean, seriously, that's the difficulty level.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
And because it's 4.5 holes per inch, you can knock it up really quickly. So again, I'm going to go up to the next one. So top right, bottom left. Try not to, if you can, pierce the threads. Right. Okay, so there's that little gap there. You see that little gap? Yeah. Rather than piercing in here, I'm going to find that little gap. So then I don't change the effect of the yarn. Again, I'm going to go, in fact, this way, I'm going to go that way, because then I'm going to show you the quick way of doing it. So because I'm going up, rather than going top, bottom, all the time, this is what I would do. Like that.
Ah, yeah.
And then...
So like if you're doing like a running stitch, you can do it. You never turn it over, you just go boom,
you just
boom,
keep that.
boom.
See, I love a man who can. He knows it's right, so I think you should.
Oh no, I've just talked myself into it now, haven't I?
I think you should. So.
No, I'm holding one that's already done. It's fine. I've got my hands full. No, go on then. Go on then. Let's put that there. That's what we're working towards, by the way. That's the it is bumblebees and thistles, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is you're going from there to there, and then from there to there.
Okay, right. So go on, just point that out again.
So you want to put that needle into that hole.
Okay, so down into that one.
Yep.
So down in.
Pull it all the way through.
And we're going all the way through.
Make sure your
I don't want to pull it too tight.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Right, so you either want to come out at the top or the bottom and go into the opposite, whichever you would prefer.
Okay, so I'm going back, back in from behind the project,
so
and
come out here, look.
I'm going to come into that one there, hopefully. So I'm going to guide. Oh, miles away. There you go.
Perfect.
In through there, and now I'm going down to the bottom right.
Directly opposite diagonal, bottom right.
Bottom right in on there.
That's it.
Is that right? That one. Or have I gone
too,
the thing is,
doesn't
matter.
Low? Don't worry, try it. If you've gone too low, all we need to do is just unpick. No, you're fine.
No, that looked all right.
That's fine. Right, so do another one. There to there and there to there.
Oh, Julie, that's brilliant. So, hang on a minute, where to where?
So you're going to go from here to here.
Yeah, okay.
And then here to here.
I can do that. So top left to bottom right. top left there.
That's it.
Coming in here, get your tension right, going down to the bottom right, we're going to go back in here.
Yep.
And we're making a cushion front, or we could frame it as well. Top right to bottom left.
Correct.
There we go.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Indeed it is. And then I'm coming down into that one,
Perfect.
maybe that one.
That one there. Look.
That one just there.
That's it.
I love it.
Isn't it?
I love it
it's
so
just,
much.
It's hypnotic because
Yeah.
you're doing the same movement over and over again. It's an easy, and it just kind of gets you into a meditative rhythm, I think. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I believe
Which
so.
is
I
a good
absolutely
place to
believe you.
be.
Yeah, just in there, just relaxing.
And because the yarn is so thick, look how much space you've covered in like a few seconds.
Yeah, so that's why you say you could get one done literally over the course of a couple of days if you were
100%.
absolutely, you know, like 6
of
hours
tea,
one day.
glass of
6 hours.
wine, yeah, absolutely.
Whatever's your
Good time,
tipple.
yeah, absolutely.
Do you want it back, Julie? I
Yeah.
feel bad taking it off,
No,
you
that's
know.
fine.
I'd love
Thank
to do
you.
some more, but, you
So
know,
I'm going to
surrounded.
carry on going up, and you shout me what one you need next.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll piece it together, because if I was watching at home, I'd be thinking, hang on, that's my cushion front, now what? Well, you've got your cushion back and you've got your cushion inserts, both available on the show, so you can order those on the phone and on the web. The cushion back is at the bottom of your screen at the moment. It's beautifully made. It's a lovely sort of...
100% cotton.
100% cotton,
Yeah.
is it? Okay.
You can put it on the cushion when you've finished it, either by hand, you can hand stitch it, or you can use the sewing machine. But the trick is to undo the zip first. So you cut is a 16 inch by 16 inch, 16 by 16, or 40 centimetres by 40.
Okay,
So it's
all
already
beautifully
been,
finished.
the edges have all been finished.
Yeah.
Perfect. You could hand embroider onto the back of that
Yeah,
if
you
you
could,
wanted to.
couldn't you?
So you could personalise if it was a gift for someone.
Yeah.
You could put a little personalised hand message.
That would be
Beautiful.
wonderful to be able
Yeah.
to do that. So just sketch it out first, and then just do a little bit of a stitch around and a
Yeah.
couple of French knots and a few.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
Yeah.
you.
Well, you know,
I
I'm
love
just
a
showing off now,
mannequin.
Julie. I'm just showing off.
Brilliant.
It's really good because what we've done is we've flipped the details to that side for the cushion back, because we can show off the fact that you can get it for a freedom price, £7.99 including your postage. That's £7.99 delivered. 586243 is your item number to order that. The cushion insert as well is available. That's £9.99 too. Brilliant at just quickly finishing off your cushion, of course. If you're choosing to upcycle a cushion you've got already at home, or you can't find one and you daren't choose one, then these are absolute gold dust to get a cushion insert. The item number is 923743 to order that. It's 100% polyester, and just in case, it does say on the screen, I think, but it's 40 by 40 for you in a square. There, that's the cushion insert. So that's how to finish off your cushions today if you're not putting them on a backboard and framing them. Should we go through the designs then, Julie?
Let's do it.
Okay, cool. So we've shown you the bumblebee there and the thistle. That's here. We're working on it now, but we're also showcasing it here, and it is that beautiful texture. It's a great value kit considering you get all your colours that you need on your yarn for £29.99 plus delivery, and a hand-painted
Hand-painted
that
pattern on
backdrop
front.
as well.
Brilliant.
For the pattern. 574720 to order that right now. What's this one in front of you? It's the pansies, isn't it? over
We've
here,
got
Julie? Is that
pansies.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
lovely pansies. Look at the colours though. It looks just so lush, doesn't it?
Okay, and the pansies gives you a great example because we've been working with our yarn that you already had on your yarn holder, but
you
there
pass me that?
is all of it. Oh, yeah, go for it. There you go.
I'm going to show you in a minute how to load that onto there so you don't get knotted up and messy.
That'd be good. That'd be good to see that, because then you know that everything's in order and nice and safe. That'd be a good tip to learn. So yeah, we get the yarn, the needle, and the hand-painted backdrop.
Correct.
With your
with all the
with
instructions.
Very
With all the
important.
instructions. And
Very
they're really
important.
good instructions as well. Because the amount of times I've bought kits and you look at it and you think, I haven't got a clue what you're
Yeah.
trying to say. They're good.
All right, we'll have a look at some instructions then before the
Yeah.
end of the show. We'll make
Let's
sure
do
to so this is the pansies, and your details are on the screen now. 799151 is your item number for the pansies. It's £29.99 plus at delivery. Everything you need, including the needle and the instructions as well. And then I've been looking forward to showcasing this, the Kingfisher.
Stunning, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know about... have you always had something about kingfishers, or is it just... I don't know, but when I was a little boy,
Yeah.
they were on a stamp for some reason. There's a stamp with a kingfisher on it, and it's always just lived with me. They are majestic birds, aren't
They
they?
are beautiful.
Yeah.
I quite like the idea of that one framed and on the wall. I think that's just lovely.
Yeah, for sure, definitely. There'll be so many cross stitchers watching, thinking, "I've got no more wall space left." So it's quite it's quite handy though that these are functional items that we're making.
Absolutely.
So on a wall or off a wall. That's the Kingfisher. Then it's £29.99 plus delivery. 295746. Here's a quick pic, and on the picture you can see the yarn on the right, and then that hand painted backdrop then for your cushion front. 295746. Busy already. For they are always on trend, the owls. Congratulations on your purchase already.
He is sweet, isn't he?
This is just going to look
so sweet.
Yeah, it's going to look lovely in a child's room as well.
Yeah, and I think you've got delicate colours as well. They're not too bright and in your face. It's more muted, very elegant but trendy.
Yeah,
really like. And I love the fact. Yeah, see, we both.
Were you saying about the frame?
Yeah,
yeah. Look at the frame. That frame is beautiful there. Sorry to gazump you there, Julie, and say it at the same time. But well, I don't know about that. I think your mind might be great, but I don't know about me. Pinks and lilacs there on the outside on the frame, matching his or her tummy. We like that. And is he or she wearing boots as well?
Oh, brilliant.
I love it. So nearly said penguin, the owl, very, very, very popular indeed. 847008. 847008. Great value to get the whole kit for £29.99. These are make to give as a lovely gift to somebody, aren't they? Or a gift to somebody that wants to get into their crafting. They could totally do it even from the get-go. You know, as a non-crafter or a non-cross-stitcher, you could do it straight away.
Really, you could. And a gift to yourself, because, you know, we're always so busy, us crafters, making for other people.
Yeah.
Make one for yourself.
Go on, treat yourself. Go on. OK. A little bit of artwork or a finished cushion with your cushion back and insert, both available on the show. Now, if you do live in a seaside town, if you're watching us from a seaside town, do email in, studio@hochanda.com. Make us jealous. Go on, because we've had quite a few family holidays down on the south coast. Bournemouth and Poole and around that sort of region. Weston-super-Mare for days out as well. So let us know where you are on the seaside, if you're watching us from the seaside. But that lighthouse, let me show it to you. This is a beautiful design, Julie.
It is. I like the birds in the background, look.
Yeah.
And again, it's so simple if you think from a design point of view, but actually that just makes it ping.
Yes, it does. Yeah. Have you got, is it naughty of me to ask you if you've got a favourite or anything? But do you like?
Don't ask me that.
No, sorry.
They're all my favourites.
Can I ask you what you like then about the seaside, the lovely lighthouse there? I think it's quite free.
Well, actually, I quite like it because it's got a dense amount of blue on there.
Yeah.
And I think because of that, it makes the red and the orange of the lighthouse on the left-hand side just sing a bit more.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. There's something about a nice sky. We should look up more often. I think it's quite.
We don't get enough blue sunshine days
we
here,
we don't, do we?
No.
We don't. Oh, we need to get a big tall ladder and go above the clouds, don't we, to see blue sky. So your lighthouse here today is 771912 to order it now. It's also, again, that great value price at £29.99. You get all the yarn, all the colours that you're going to need on your yarn, and your hand-painted background for the cushion front. Finish it with your cushion back and your cushion cover, cushion insert, sorry, that are both available on the show. £9.99 for the insert and £9.99 for the back, 100% cotton. And it's also £7.99 delivered if you're with Freedom, that cushion back. And then what have we got here? This is the hummingbird.
Well, I think that looks quite tropical, doesn't it? I mean, it's just so sunshiny. So if you had a caravan or, you know, you'd go away, brilliant, because it just makes you just get all warm.
Yeah, there is a certain warmth to that, isn't there? I mean, whereas the blue sky, it was very cool, wasn't it, with the lighthouse, the blue sky, but now the hummingbird with those flowers is just... You can feel the warmth, you can, yeah.
But it's amazing, isn't it, when you think about it? Add a little bit of orange, red and yellow, and it makes it pop, and it has a completely different feel to it. So it has a warm feel rather than a cooler feel.
It absolutely is. These reds and oranges that have totally turned the temperature up, aren't they?
I mean, if you look, there's not that much red. It's dotted throughout, but it just, again, it brings it up and makes it come alive.
Yeah, barely. I mean, look at the speed at which it all comes together as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 blocks there already. We could do that in a minute or two, that little area, couldn't we?
Absolutely.
Just to create this. Wonderfully tactile too. Brilliant for artwork at home. And it's £29.99 plus delivery. Again, 022821 for the lovely hummingbird and that warmth as well. The peacock next. Oh, my goodness.
Indeed. Beautiful.
Yeah. It's hard to choose.
That might be coming towards one of my favourites, actually, that swinging that way.
Loving the peacock.
So elegant.
Do you know, it looks as well, if this is your first ever cross-stitch project, what a thing to be able to point to in years to come and say, oh yeah, that's the first thing I ever made, that's my first project.
And why it's easy for your first project is because the design is printed, hand printed on the front. Normally you have a separate pattern that you have to work from, and you have the canvas or your whatever background you're working on. So you have to go, right, okay, I know, do a couple of stitches and then pencil it out and do. So that can, you know, keep going back and forward. That takes time. You don't need to worry about. There's no technicals, straight on there.
Yeah, we are cross-stitching with lovely yarn, almost by numbers or areas and patches and regions, aren't we?
Yep.
Brilliant for beginners. Imagine getting the peacock and being able to say in a few months' time or a few years' time and saying, oh yeah, that cushion, yeah, well, I made that. That was my first ever cross-stitch project. That'd be lovely to be able to tell friends that. 926-793 to get the peacock today. It's $29.99 plus delivery. There'll be something that appeals to you in terms of not being able to choose because they're all lovely, or there might be something that's just very, very evocative of something, maybe a place that you've been.
Yeah, childhood memory.
Yeah, definitely.
Smells and flowers bring back memories. Smells of flowers bring back memories.
Yeah, there was a pub that I used to go to with my dad where there was peacocks in the garden, actually.
Oh, really?
And it's just stuff like that, it'll just remind you of stuff. But yeah, here we are, a third of the peacock already gone. Just give you a word on the peacock. A third of the stock gone on the peacock. 92793 to order now. And then just to switch along as well, we're going with that lovely, the sky is so different with each as well. We saw the blue sky with the lighthouse, but now here with the lupins, it's that lighter blue.
But you know what makes it pop for me is that turquoisey colour. Dotted along the middle section, just a little bit here and there. That turquoise, again, it just brings it out and makes it pop.
Yeah. I mean, with the lupins design, it's got a depth to it as well, hasn't it? I mean, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are sort of different focal points of the perspective. I mean,
but
that's
you've got
a proper
height as well,
feel.
so you've got the taller lupins that go off into the background and then the shorter ones that come, and I think that's where it brings the depth in.
Loving the sky. Loving that sky too, those purples running through.
It's got a really lovely, soft, silky feel, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And that's it. Just remind us what that is then, because it's been treated, the yarn.
So when you get a yarn, doesn't matter whether it's an embroidery yarn or a crochet knitting yarn, if it's shiny, it's been what they call mercerised, which means it's been literally dunked into a product that gives it a shine and a sheen.
Yeah, right.
And actually what that does then, when you're using it, whether you're using it by hand for embroidery like this or you're crocheting or knitting with it, it runs really smoothly through your hands. Doesn't tend to catch so much, and it just gives it that little bit of oomph and pizzazz.
I like that. So I suppose when you're actually doing the project as well, it's going through your cushion front very well and very sliding and gliding through, but also at the end when you finish your project,
it really does feel lovely.
It's got a lovely smooth feel to it. Oh, you've got to promise us when you've got your kit home and you've made yours, you've got to cuddle that cushion for at least 10 minutes after you've made it. $29.99 for each kit, depending on which one, and that's all of them. We've recycled through them all. So it's now to the difficult part. We're already very busy for various different cushion kits. Some people have already made their mind up. If you're still struggling, I don't know what else to say. We've done our bit. It's over to you to choose which one you're going to get. The lupins is 055. If that sky has just taken you there and the turquoises have just grabbed your attention, the lupins is 055779. Here are all the kits that you can scroll through on the web. If you've just tuned in then, here's Julie to tell us more, because cross-stitch, it's easy to get into in the sense that you've got the crisscross, but this is even easier. Tell us why.
Well, these kits are really easy because we've got the pattern label. Let's bring this kingfisher over.
Go on then. Oh, kingfisher, good choice.
So,
and then you're going to tell us about the yarn, aren't you? Sorry.
So what you've got is, it's easy because you've got the pattern already, the colour pattern printed on there. Okay, so you're not having to look at a separate chart and cross out all the stitches that you do, so that makes it nice and easy. You have your colour running down the bottom, so you always have that as your south area. Okay?
That's clever. So you've tied the actual yarn on the colour swatch.
Sometimes you think, oh, I'm not too sure, just to make it easy for yourself, because if you look...
Those three colours.
See those two? They look quite similar.
Yeah, they are really
and then if you look at... It doesn't help that I've got other coloured yarn down there. But you know, if you're doing it in the evening, so get a good crafting lamp will do you the world of good, especially in the winter time, because it can often be quite hard to see the difference between those two.
We've got a couple of lamps on the show today, so when you're scrolling through your kits trying to make your mind up, you'll see the two lamps.
It really
there.
is well worth it. So putting your bits of yarn on here, just for quick reference, really helps. So that's nice.
Well, it's a good idea to do that, then, yeah,
It is.
because you haven't done that on the previous one, but to tie the actual yarn on
Absolutely.
makes it very clear.
So you've got 4.5 holes. So background fabrics, when you're embroidering on, so embroidery fabrics, you've heard like the 14 count, 16 count, Ada, etc. What that basically means is if you get a measuring tape and you measure an inch, it's how many holes in that inch. Now this one is 4.5 holes per inch, which means it's big. So that's great if, like me, you've got a few dodgy... Look at that. That goes off at a tangent.
Oh, crumbs, yeah. Just until you point it out. Yeah.
And I can get quite sore sometimes. So I find working on this is great because it doesn't... My hands don't ache quite as much.
Yeah.
And it means I can whip it up quite quick. So I tend to have 2 or 3 of these in my stash at home, because if I forget, think, oh, it's someone's anniversary or it's someone's birthday and I've forgotten. It says it takes about 16 hours, but some people are speedy, some not so. But it really wouldn't take you long to knock this up.
Yeah.
And it comes with everything, so it's perfect. It's like, it's drawing by numbers, it's painting, it's embroidery by colour.
It is, isn't it? You're looking at the area, that could be number 1, that could be number 3, that could be number 2, but instead it's light blue, green and dark blue, and you're just literally following it, which means it's a very peaceful craft and very easy. You even let me have a go earlier,
it's
didn't
hypnotic. You're doing the same movement over and over and over again, and it gets you into a rhythm, and you find that after a while you just go, that's nice, and mind can float off, and you know, you don't worry about things. And when I'm working on on craft projects, I'm so engrossed in it. It's like at the beginning of so when I open my kit first for this, I will prep all my threads. So you get this big bundle, and I love this bit. The prepping before I've even started is one of my most favourite bits, because I get familiar with the product, and I'm very touchy-feely with it. I love it. I love that feeling. So you kind of get, and you're looking at the colours and you're like, oh, that's beautiful, etc. So what I do with these is I'll get all of the colours in the same colourway, okay, and I fold it in half, and I grab my ring, and I'm going to go that way. The reason I'm going to go that way, I'll show you in a minute. I want a section at the front rather than the back, and I'm just looping it through, pulling it tight and holding. Oh, that means it's nice and neat. You're not going to, because that could very easily get tangled up.
Yes.
And you don't want to waste your threads. So I load it all on there. Now the reason I went in from that way, it means this bit at the front here goes like that. So when I need to take one off, I literally, it's a bit difficult to see when it's black. Just take one loop and you pull it off, done. And then you haven't got a knot.
Easy, really easy, and you're not going to get them tied up and lost as well. Just while we do that, there, Julie, we've had a question from Sandra as well.
Hey, Sandra.
Hi, Sandra. Very good afternoon to you. When the cushions, this is such a good question, Sandra. Would you like my job? Because it's not really a job, is it? But, Sandra, come in. Okay, I'll interview you myself. Can you wash or dry clean your cushions once they've been made, says Sandra?
You can. How I would do it is I would get a really good quality wool wash powder or liquid. Okay. And I would, in lukewarm, fill my sink up, clean the sink down, fill it up with lukewarm water, good quality, and then I would put, if it's got deep colours in like that, you know, you can get colour run sheets that you can put in the washing. So I will probably put 4 or 5, maybe 6 in there when I'm washing it, just to prevent colour bleeding on the threads, and then take it out, get a towel, roll it and lay it on a towel, and then roll it. Don't squeeze it or, you know, all of that, and just roll it into a towel and keep going. Roll it, and just as if you're baking and you're rolling it out. Just roll it. Take it out, take another cloth that is not quite so damp, and do it again and again and again till you get to a nice consistency, and then just lay it out flat.
That's such a good advice, Julie. What an answer, Sandra. Sandra, that's a brilliant question there. Can you wash or should you dry clean your cushions? Yes, hand wash them. Julie, that's brilliant. All right. Any questions for Julie? Let us know. Email them in studio@hochanda.com. You've given me a tip on how to next wash my wool. I've got a wool hoodie at home that I have to always hand wash.
Yep.
And it sounds hoodie, it sounds, you know, but it's really, it's quite nice. I've got it in Debenhams, you know. It's one of them.
Very nice.
Other department stores are available. But, you know, you've just taught me how to hand wash it and dry it now, because I hang it up and it's there for a week, drip drying, but I'm going to use a towel now.
So there's another trick. When you finish, whenever I finish an embroidery piece, it doesn't matter what type of embroidery, I always then cut and I get lightweight iron-on interfacing, and I will iron it onto the back of the piece, because that gives an extra bit of protection from anything from coming loose afterwards. So it sucks it all down, so you iron it all on and it keeps it solid. So, you know, you get a cushion and
you'd be moving
you know,
it,
you're doing this,
you know, you're
plumping it up and you're sorting it out. What you don't want is it for it to come loose, especially as if you've made it into a cushion. So lightweight iron-on interfacing on the back of any hand embroidery.
Great
and then
tip.
it's just double protection.
Absolutely brilliant tip. Iron interfacing to finish it off. And on the Peacock, we are very, very, very busy. Well, across the board generally, but half the stock gone already on the Peacock. We're also busy for the cushion backs. If you've already got one of those, brilliant. If not, you can get the cushion back for £9.99 plus delivery. It is 100% cotton. It's finished off on the edges as well, so it's not going to be fraying. You could even hand stitch that on if you wanted to, or machine stitch it and then finish it off at the very end. But actually, no, you could machine it all, couldn't you? Because you've got the zip insert.
Yeah, you could.
And the only other thing I was going to mention is it's at the bottom of the screen, but you can save £2 on it if you're with Freedom. It's £7.99 because the price just down there. We can't show you the Freedom price until it's over here. So just to say, if you're with Freedom, that's actually £7.99, including your delivery, to get the cushion back. Very busy for the Kingfisher, which you've got there, Julie. Yeah, half the stock's gone on the
Let's play
Peacock.
with some Kingfisher, shall we?
Yeah.
Right, so this was the thread for the pansies. So let's put that back over there with the pansies. May I give that to you?
No worries, I've got that, Julie. Yeah.
There's
the thread, that's the pansies.
What I've done, because I've got multiples on the go, as always, as a crafter, I must have probably a dozen different projects on the go.
It's naughty, isn't it? Yeah.
But I can't help it. So I've got a label maker. My lovely PA Sarah helped me to make labels so that you don't get confused, so you know where you're going. So let's have a play. What colour? Choose me a colour.
Go on then. This, looking down here, this is what we've got to choose from. You were saying earlier on you're loving your turquoises. This is kind of a Prussian blue, isn't it? Should we work with that?
Prussian blue, love it.
I know I've been here too long. But you've done a lot of that already, so maybe, do you want to stick to, what's that one underneath? Is that blue there next to it?
So that's the dark blue. Let's do this blue.
Go on then.
Okay, so do you want to pull me off one of that colour?
One of them. Am I going for... It is that one there.
That's it. So
that
just pull me
so
off
you
the thread.
said
That's it.
Go for it like this, but I don't want to go for...
Just grab the needle and just hook it.
Okay then, yeah. Do you know, is it geeky of me, but because you get your needle with all the kits, I checked the size of the eye when I was looking at it. I thought, oh, is it or isn't it? But it's actually really easy, he says, needle to thread. Look at that! That's so easy, and we'll just get the last little bit.
Perfect.
Genius. There you go.
Thank you very much.
But I'm not saying I'm the genius. This is the genius.
So again, I'm going to load by folding it over, and then I pull it really tight because I want to be able to put that through the hole. And go like that. A lot of people go, oh, don't worry about that. Don't drive yourself mad.
Yeah.
Just flip it over and pull it through.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, where are we going to go? So I'm going to bring it all down here, okay? So I'm going to attach in the back here so it doesn't come loose. So what I'm going to, because I'm going to now come down this section, so I'm going to take my thread in.
Okay, this is the not in inverted commas, which we saw you doing at the very beginning.
So I'm going to leave myself that little bit extra, again, because you're going to pump the cushion up and it's going to have movement. And then I'm going to go back on myself through to the end. Reason being is that creates another safety knot. You know, if I now pull that, it's going to be a lot more difficult to pull out than if I had just gone all the way along. That would be, and you could come out.
Got it. So basically, you know you need to be around about here somewhere, but you've just chosen to start it here nearby.
So I'm not wasting too much.
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got my colour chart at the bottom. That's my south point, and You can put this, if you've got a rotating frame, you know, right? So you could, if you got yourself a rotating frame, you could put it on that, no problem. I've tried using a circular hoop, but this is quite thick.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little bit tricky, but it's great on a rotating frame. Okay. Some people prefer to use them, some don't. It does help with your tension.
Right.
If it's a project for you or a friend and you're not awfully worried, don't worry about it. If you're entering it into a competition or you want it to be picobello, stick it on a rotating frame, because then you'll have really good quality of your stitches.
What I love though, Julie, is the fact that you can start this as a complete novice. You've never done cross stitch before. This is cross stitch with yarn. You've got it all hand painted on your backdrop here. You'd be making a cushion in no time, whether you've crafted it all before.
Yeah.
And you can do it. There's not like a situation where you've got to buy this, you've got to buy that.
No, you
grab a
don't
kit.
Really grab a kit. Now, here's a trick. So, can you see the canvas has started to come away a little bit? So just cut it over the shoulder. The best thing to do, if you're not going to put it on a rotating frame, is to get yourself low-tack masking tape and then fold it so it's over both sides all the way round, so that it stops, because every time this is eating into your working area, or then the area, because you need about an inch of area post the edge of the picture in order to sew this on.
Yeah,
okay? So you don't want too much of your backing fabric to be removed from it coming undone. So low tack masking tape.
So as long as you've got an inch left at the end of it, and you're all right.
Right, so where are we? Here we are. So I'm going to start this bit, okay, so I'm going to go here and I'm going to go directly opposite. Now if this is tapestry, if you wanted to do this as a tapestry, that's tapestry stitch.
Okay, just one.
Just one, that's it, just one. But we're doing cross stitch, so I'm going to go to the opposite and I'm going to go into that hole there. It can be a bit hard to see when you've actually got around it, threads already in there, but you'll get a feel for it. And if let's do it wrong. Okay.
Go on then.
Let's just do it. If you don't, oh dear, that's no problem. All you do is you pull it out,
out it comes,
and you reload your needle, and you're fine. So don't worry if you go wrong.
Yeah.
Always undo it and sort it out.
But you can sort of see, like, even if you can't see the actual hole, once you've got it bunched up against the other yarn, you can't see the hole, but you can sort of see where it should be anyway.
And
like,
you can
so
feel it.
Yeah.
You can feel it. It is all about how it feels. So I'm going to go down here now. So this is where I cheat. I'm going to go this way. Okay. So what I'm going to do, because I'm doing it left or right-handed. Right-handed, I'm going to go that way quickly. So I go like that. Okay, and then I'm going to come out at the next hole, because that's my next bottom left, top, right.
So instead of going underneath,
instead of doing that, which is great for the back wings.
Yeah.
But, and again, I'm going to go down there, and I'm going to come out of this next one. See how quickly and how much cover surface you've got, because you've got thick yarn, and you've got 4.5 holes per inch. It really doesn't take long.
I love to think of the number of people that we've got into cross-stitch over the last couple of years, but now cross-stitch with yarn, it's even more accessible and visible to us, because 4.5 squares per inch, it means that you're not sort of battling with it, or, definitely get a daylight light if you want a lamp at home.
But the daylight for this project is about getting your colours right.
Right.
It's not so much about finding the holes to poke it in.
Because you can see it.
Because if you did this in the evening without a working craft lamp and a white light, you can easily mix up your colours and think, oh, I've got to undo.
Yeah. It's like painting at night time. You just never do it, would you? You'd have the natural daylight. So especially those colours there.
Yeah, that. I know that in this daylight light it looks all right, but actually come an evening it might be a bit tricky.
Phone lines are a bit busy. Best way to order is on the website at the moment. I'll let you know if it dies down at all, but it's very busy out there for different designs. Don't forget we said about the peacock, that's going fast, and the kingfisher is approaching a third of the stock gone now. So there's a lot of people that are getting into their cross-stitch with yarn today. We're also very busy for the cushion backs. They're $7.99, including delivery if you're with Freedom, or $9.99 plus delivery if you're not. 40 centimetres by 40. Washable as well, but you've got your zip already inserted there. It's so easy.
So don't forget to undo the zip when you're putting it on, and you could hand embroider or get a fabric pen, or you could just personalise, that'd be lovely.
Definitely, definitely. But you've got so much, even if you didn't, you've got so much going on the front of your cushion.
Yeah.
The reason why you say leave the zip open is because you are machine stitching all the way round. So you leave it open and you're going right sides together, aren't you?
Yeah, and then you've got to pull it through and pull it out.
Yeah, so you need to be, once you've sewn all the way around, you need that bit then to be able to turn it through. That's your last little bit that you'd normally leave. So that's it, zip open. Oh, I've learned so much from our lovely guests over the years, haven't I? I was never normally this clever. Honest. Oh dear.
So there's another way of doing the cross stitch. So up until now we've always done that, then that, then that, then that. And I'm going to now do just going one way. So I'm going to go back that way, doing what is the tapestry stitch until I get to the end.
When did you get into cross stitch then, Julie?
I got into cross stitch as a kid, actually.
Did you?
Yeah. And then I did it up until my early 20s, and then I stopped for a while, and then I got back into it in a big way. And I love crochet and hand embroidery. I love my crafting. Yeah. So I've gone all the way to the end with the tapestry stitch, and I'm going to go back that way, finishing off the cross stitch.
I wonder how many other people have got a similar story, Julie, when you sort of real life takes over, you get busy, you know, with different, you know, your job or whatever might, like, take you here, there and everywhere and whatever, and you don't have the time, and kids and family and commitments and stuff. We've all got different stories on what we've done over the course of our lives so far. But you might have done it at school maybe, and then sort of not done at all for however many years, depending on how old you are there at home. If I'm pushing mid-40s now, but there might be something that you did at school. You've not done it for 30-odd years, and then you're thinking, do you know what? I've got a little bit more time on my hands now, and you want to get back into sewing.
It's about being peaceful as well. It's about being, because I hear lots of ladies and gents say the same thing. When I'm crafting, that's what I'm concentrating on, and you get so engaged with it, and it's hypnotic. You know, if you're crocheting, embroidery, you often have to count. So it's really good for concentrating, for relaxing you. I don't worry about all this, you know, like, oh, am I going to pay the bills and what, you know, all of the daily stresses that you have. Mine tends, as soon as I'm crafting, it switches off, and I'm concentrating on the product, the stuff, and I'm thinking about the person I'm making it for. Yeah. So, you know, it's just a really, and I think, I'm the same age as you. How old are you?
No, don't say. You can't be anywhere near my age, surely,
I bet
Julie.
I am.
42.
I'm older than you.
Yeah, I would never believe that. Would you believe that? Would you go on, press red on your remote now? You know, yeah. 42.
So when's your birthday?
July the 15th.
I am. I'm going to be 43 in April.
Oh, really?
That's scary, isn't it?
It is scary, isn't it? And you're probably thinking, well, I'm only 25 or whatever, though, you, or more. I don't know. But I know what Suella, our floor manager's thinking. She's thinking, I don't know, 20-something, are you? Yeah, get out. Go on.
but you know what? You've hit the nail on the head there. You know, in my 20s and late 20s, I wanted to go out and enjoy myself. And, you know, you're pubbing and clubbing and you're doing all of these things. Yeah. But actually, now that in my late 30s and 40s, I've slowed up. I don't have the energy to do all of that anymore. And actually, I enjoy a nice cup of tea. I'm a tea girl.
Yeah, tea.
I am a tea. Everyone takes the mickey out of me because they're all drinking. I'll have a cup of tea, please. Yeah. And I can just zone out listening to the radio. Yeah. You know, it's just nice and relaxing. So that's me set.
It's good. We've all got a different story, haven't we?
Really
a cup of tea and a chocolate bar, a slice of cake or something else naughty, you know. And we've all got a different story on how and when we relax. With our different kits that we've got, we did this already at the top of the show, but if you missed the sort of recap of all the different designs, yeah, that's right. You do have to make your mind up now, don't you? Yes. We do. We're not going to let you go until you've chosen one or two kits here. So we've got the Kingfisher that we're working on now, and this is 1/3 gone already on the Kingfisher. The Kingfisher's a gorgeous image, and for me, it just reminds me of a postage stamp that I remember when I was a little boy that had a Kingfisher on it, and ever since then, I thought I've been mesmerised by Kingfishers, and just yes, that was many years ago. Yes, thank you very much. But just the long beak, the majesty of it. I don't know. I just like the Kingfisher. And we'll look at the pansies as well. Where have they gone? They are... here it is,
Your pansy kit.
We've got a picture of the pansies actually here, Julie. Don't worry, don't worry.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll carry on with me. Lovely bird.
There's the Kingfisher. It's 295746 is your item number for the Kingfisher. And the pansies are lovely. The pansies are gorgeous here. I've got the backdrop here. That's what confused me, because I looked down and I thought I could see the pansies, but that's actually the cushion front, which has been hand painted. This has been hand painted, and then the yarn itself that you get is here. You can sort that out and sort of order it. Ours is a bit of a mess because we've been playing with it. Don't worry. But the yarns are really bright, actually. On the pansies.
Are beautiful.
Yeah.
And you've got the 3 colourways, so you've got the purples, the light and the dark, the lemon yellow light and the dark, and the pink light and dark.
You can see that, the dark and the light yellow there, and the dark and light purple. That's got the cushion insert in it already, and the cushion back that are both available on the show. That's the pansies for £29.99 plus delivery. That's £799,151. If you don't catch the numbers or anything, all the kits are the same price. Very good value. They're on the web, but also just tell our call centre which one you want. The call centre's here in the UK in the same building as we're in, and I know the system because I've worked in there briefly myself, that you just click the drop-down menu and you choose the option. It's really easy. So if you said, I want the Kingfisher, they'll be able to do that for you. It's really, really easy to find which one. We've got the owl.
No, I love the owl.
You knew the owl would be popular, didn't you?
Yeah, I love the owl, and I like it because it's gentler colours. I love the bright stuff.
Yeah.
Equally, I like the really muted, gentle colours.
Yeah.
And that'd be great in a baby kid's room.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Love it.
Because of the softer
Two of them,
colours.
actually. I would want, you know, like a pair. I think they would look lovely.
Yeah, nice idea, that. Nice idea. And if you have got a couple of kits today, play with it, you know, make the frame a nice pinky purple for, I don't want to pigeonhole the sexes, the boys and the girls, but for a little girl, that'd be lovely. And then you could use your blues from one of the other kits, maybe, to make a different frame.
Absolutely.
Change it up, there's no rules. 847008 is your item number there for the owl, and it also has £29.99. Lovely stuff. All of these are on the web. We've been very busy for the Bumblebee. It's one of the first kits we saw, I guess.
It
wasn't
was.
it? 'Cause we were demonstrating with it. But what do you love about the Bumblebee, Julie?
The dark cerise pink.
Yeah.
I love the dark. It just makes it pop again. Because the other colours are quite... If you look at the purple and the light purple and
Over
the aqua
here.
background,
Yeah.
they're quite gentle, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, in the centre, you've got that really powerful, strong, darker colour.
Yeah, it does. It just goes boom there with that in the centre, doesn't it? I'm loving just the life to it as well, just the real nature, you know, with the Bumblebee coming in. I think, you know, there's a moment that's been captured with this one, I think, with that pollination. It's 574720 to get the lovely Bumblebee and the Thistle design. 20% of the stock's gone on that. It's been a very, very popular option. I did want to let you know when the phone lines had died down, but they are still really, really busy. Best way to order is on the website there, hochanda.com. I'll let you know if it gets any quieter. And we were talking about seaside towns earlier, weren't we, Julie, with the lovely lighthouse here.
I'm going to steal that back.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Thanks.
There's a life again here with the birds in the backdrop of the lighthouse, and you've got the little ships there and the boats. My little boy would love this one. 771912 is your item number. It's £29.99. And then all of them on the website, like I say. Last but not least, the hummingbird. Oh no, not the last one. So I've got another couple to show you: the lupins and also the peacock. I'm trying to rush you. The hummingbird now. So many choices. It's brilliant. You said about the strong colours before, didn't you, Julie?
I do. I love that one.
There's sort of strong reds and oranges. Not much of it. It's just a little dash of colour.
But you don't need a lot. If you had too much, it would dominate. And the idea is it's the bird coming up from underneath to the flower, so you don't want it to dominate too much. But that just has a tropical feel to me. It makes me think of sunshine in the Caribbean.
Yeah, it's a warm.
I wish I was in the sun.
I wish I knew. I've seen pictures. I've managed to get to the age of 42 without going there. But one day, eh? One day. We love Bournemouth too much. So I'm just living a lie. 022821 is your item number then for the hummingbird, and it's at £29.99. The most popular kit on the show. They've all been popular in their own way, but 70% of the stock gone on the glorious peacock. We said earlier, what if this was your first ever project? It'd be a proud moment to look back.
Yeah, it would, and it's so sumptuous. I think that one's popular because it's not just the design, but the colours are so deep.
Yeah.
And it's lush, and you just want to stroke that baby.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
All of them. You want to squeeze them and stroke them. You've got your cushion backs available on the show, and the cushion inserts as well. £9.99 for the insert, £9.99 for the cushion back. It's 100% cotton. £7.99 for the cushion back if you are ordering. It's a Freedom customer, and that's the lovely peacock peacock, 70% of the stock gone on that at the moment. It's a very, very, very popular. And then the sky grabbed our attention here before, didn't it, Julie? The lovely lighter sky.
In comparison to the other skies, that's a little bit paler. Which again makes some of the darker colours, because you've got that dark raspberry dotted throughout, and then you've got the aqua, the dark aqua.
Yeah, you like this one, didn't you?
So just, you know, again, little bits of some things can make it pop.
There's not much of that turquoise, is there? But
I don't
there's
think
enough
you'd want
of it.
to, otherwise it'd be, it would dominate. But yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah. You can just look at these for hours and hours. That's the it's at the same price point. It's $29.99. You get the hand painted. Just to say, if you have just joined us, these are hand painted cushion fronts that you're cross stitching with, and you're cross stitching with yarn as opposed to thread. You've got a bigger eye on the needle, and it's a blunter needle as well, so you're not going to damage that cushion front when you're going through it. So all the kits are made really well with full instructions as well. 055779 for your gorgeous lupins design. The cushion backs, that's got one on it here. There's one of the cushion backs. These are 100% cotton. They come with the zip pre-inserted, and they're 40 centimetres by 40 centimetres. It's $9.99 plus delivery to get the cushion back, but $7.99 including your delivery to get them as a Freedom customer. A large amount of the stock has gone, but it was started off as a large number, but a quarter of the stock has gone on those. We were hoping they wouldn't be selling out today because we did have such a large number of them, but a quarter has gone. 586243. And then the cushion insert.
The thing is, these bags,
yes, go on.
You could buy, I mean, because some people like to make cushions. You've got people who like to make bags, you've got those that like to make cushions, blah, blah, blah. So you could always buy extra of these because it's already done and the zip's already in there. Because I would not use a sewing machine to put a zip in. I'd be like, right, I'd rather not do the project, thanks very much. But because it's already in there and it's a good quality and it's finished off, you could buy maybe 2 or 3 of these as spares.
I think stock up while I've got them.
And stock up with them and use them, because again you can hand embroider into that all, as much as you want to. So they obviously it has to be 40 by 40 centimetres or 16 by 16 inches. So obviously you can only use it for that size, but they're well worth having in in your stash. A couple of
Yeah, you can't go wrong with these. Absolutely can't go wrong. I mean, there'll be those sewers watching thinking, I've got my machine, I've got my zipper foot, and I will do that myself. But then these are a lovely, I've never crafted before, what am I doing? And you can pick up a cross-stitch kit today, now, with your yarn, and easily make a cushion, no problem.
Or you could be a lily lightweight like me and go, I'll buy it with the in already.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's there for you to go. So there's no excuse if you're brand new to crafting, brand new to cross stitch. You've got the cushion back there, ready to go. I must say I've got my eye on them as well. So it's an easy job to finish those. $7.99 including a delivery if you're with Freedom. And then the cushion insert, 100% polyester, lovely quality to it. And this is also 40 centimetres by 40 centimetres for you. Stock up while we've got them, because there was another show a couple of months ago, I think, where we were saying, I'm sure there are some cushion inserts on the website. And we had a look and they weren't there. We just didn't have them available. So grab them while we've got these available now. It's 923743 to order your cushion insert for $9.99.
This is what I love.
Stroking through it.
It's just, you know, and being a crafter, I'm looking at that thinking, oh, that's like a child's mobile. And what can I do with it? If I and if I put that, and you think, no, put it down.
Yeah.
It's part of this project. But actually, in doing things like that, it gets your creative juices flowing. You think, oh, I could do something. You know, imagine making butterflies and then plaiting them and then shading them, and you're like, stop it.
Yeah. Oh, get with the programme.
Get with it.
We've got about 4 minutes left, Julie. What do you reckon it's best to do to show between now and the end of the programme?
What would you like to see?
Either the peacock or the kingfisher, and you've got the peacock ready to go.
Okay, let's do that. Choose me a colour. There you go.
Oh, okay. Where are you up here? You're on the...
Anyway, it doesn't matter. You choose wherever Try something that I haven't got anything to attach to, so I can show you.
Okay, I've got that colour ready.
Right, grab that.
Should we do that?
Yeah.
It's like a lovely sort of dark reddish sort of brown. So I'll choose. There you go. I've got my needle. Thank you very much. Or your needle. There we are. And then just pull the rest of that out. It's really good to look after your yarn. There we are. And there's your needle back.
So I'm just going to load my needle. One of the things you can do is on this end, because I haven't got anywhere to tie it into from what's already on there, I'm going to create a couple of big knots on the end. And the reason I want big knots is otherwise it will fall through the hole.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm just doing a nice big, don't worry about that, it's absolutely fine. And this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to do an away knot. So I'm going to go from the front to the back, because what you need is to have about that much you can sew in afterwards so it doesn't come undone. So I'm going to work from here. So I will place it from the front. I want the knot on the front, around there. Okay, let's get them out of the way.
Okay.
And then I'm going to start over here. So let me just do a couple of stitches and then I'll explain why and what I've done.
Yeah, I think I know what you're going to say,
I bet.
but I don't...
Okay, so what
I've never
that
seen anyone
means
do it
then,
before, but I think...
so that's called an away knot. So
Yeah.
what that means is when I've done an area, enough of an area like that I can then tie it into, I would pull that up, just cut the knot off.
Thought you were going to do that, yeah.
That will flip through and then you can sew that in.
Yeah.
But you only really need to do that if it's the first yarn in the middle, or you're working from an area you haven't got any backing bit to tie it into.
Got it. So when you're first starting the project, that's how you'd start it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it.
And then off we go. Want another go?
Yeah, go on then. Go on. We've got about a minute. I don't know whether I've done the wrong thing in saying yes, because I might waste that last minute now.
We've got ourselves caught here. See, now this is good to know, because then all you do is you tuck it in. So we'll do that afterwards.
Okay,
so
all right.
Don't worry about that bit, because I can tuck it in. So what I want you to do is you're going to go top there. Let's pull that out. And I want you to go along that way.
Along that way from
Along
there.
that
So I'm going to go down in that one.
Correct.
All right.
Genius.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. And then I'm going to come in from behind again, and then go this way.
Yep.
Okay. Oopsie, hang on a minute. That way. You've got about 30 seconds left, Julie. So
Top corner. Perfect. Do you want me to take over?
Go. I've done one.
Brilliant.
There we go.
Yay.
I've had good fun today. I've really enjoyed it. And if you've never cross-stitched before, what an easy way of getting into it, you know. Yes, you could take the leap into cross-stitch with your thread and your tiny needles and the Ida as well, which is like really small, because we've seen brand new cross-stitchers do that. But this is not just an easy way, but an easy way, and a beautiful way to get into it too. Julie, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Lovely
thank you
show.
for a great first show.
I've really enjoyed it. Thank
Brilliant.
you. Thank you. And thank you for watching too. Bye-bye now. Yeah, stay tuned. We've got our DigiCrafting One Day special, paper sculpting with Sizzix as well after that, and then cross-stitch with stitch kits. Yeah, Julie's back in 2 hours' time. Don't forget to place your order now. Kits are going fast. You can do it on the web or on the phone, and Crafting Market is on at the moment.
Hi, I'm Barbara Gray from Clarity Stamp Limited. We're well known in the industry for designing and manufacturing top quality, award-winning craft products. As with all craft projects, you need a good starting place, a great stamp, a top quality stencil, and in recent times we've developed the Groovy Parchment art system so that your line art is perfect on parchment. Another exciting development to come from the marriage between Parchment and our stamp company is the fabulous designer papers and now the designer parchment. There is nothing like it. Each groovy plate is precision etched, and by simply getting in the groove with a stylus, you can easily transfer great designs onto parchment. Groovy is a modular system. The plates complement each other and work beautifully together. They are packed with elements and allow you to build your own original artwork. Whether you're a novice or a traditional parcher, you will love these plates. And for me personally, having beautiful line art is what motivated me to want to learn traditional parchment skills. So why not get in the groove with us here on Hochanda?
Hi, I'm Fiona Clayton from Crafter's Companion. I've been crafting for about 7 years now, having rediscovered my love of a childhood hobby. I'm delighted that I can share with you all my hints, tips and ideas. And here at Hochanda, we're going to make sure that you really enjoy your crafting as well. So join me, Fiona Clayton, here on Hochanda.
Good afternoon. Now you are looking at an array, a wonderful display of finished samples. These are all the different types of things that you can be doing with Michelle's fantastic CD-ROMs. Look at this. It's not just about your card making. You can do pieces of home decor. You can even start sewing. You can do all sorts of things. Now what you're getting in your one-day special are 3 fantastic CD-ROMs. It's the Go Digi, the Print It and Craft, and you've also got the Inspiration Station. It's literally like you're getting one as a complete bonus. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Michelle. Hello, Michelle. And that is very much what you wanted to get across, isn't it? It's not just about card making.
It's not just about card making, it's about anything that you can imagine. If you can print it, then you can craft it. It's digital crafting.
Yeah.
It's hybrid crafting. It's taking things on to another level.
Wonderful.
So really quickly, I want to show you.
Yep.
Don't need software, don't need to know anything fancy. Word processing document, access the Go Digi elements. So really quickly,
right.
There's one on the screen. We go to the insert image, which is up on your top toolbar, and whichever word processing document that you're going to use, you will find a little picture image, and when you float over it, it's going to say image.
Okay.
And if you can't find it, you think, I want to insert an image, insert image. That's it. It's as simple as that. That's
Brilliant.
how I work.
So here it is, it's just coming up.
And then it goes into your CD, and we're going to go to the Paper Boutique, and we're just going to really quickly, I'm going to show you how you can access it. So here's some of my pattern papers, just a few of them.
Nice.
843 unique digital elements in this, in the Go Digi CD. You do that, that's an 8x8 page to print off as you want it to go and then craft with it. We can make it any size we want to by just grabbing the corners and moving it around like that. And we can also then make A4 pages. So if we pick up the crop tool, which again will be on whatever system you're using, there'll be a crop tool. Crop it into the side like this.
Yeah.
And then we select it and we can stretch it out, and then we can suddenly make our A4 papers. And if it doesn't quite go to the edge, which that one hasn't, we just pick up the crop tool again and we pull it back out to the side.
Easy.
So we can print that off, and that's an A4 page ready to go. Now we can even get access to our embellishments this way as well. So if we go to the image file, so remember these are images, they are JPEGs and PNGs, as simple as that. So if you take photographs and take them off your computer, you can access these images as well. So here we go into the Go Digi embellish it, and we're going to pick up a little robin, and we click OK. So he's on there now, and I may be wanting the other way around. So I'm going to right click and copy, and I'm going to right click and paste. So always check your right click button, because it's as easy as that to find your instructions.
So good.
Up on the top toolbar, we've got a flip, so we can have him facing the other way.
Fabulous.
Easy as that. So maybe we want our bird to have a house. So we go into the Embellish It garden. We're going to pick up the birdhouse, which is an embellishment that I've made myself out of cardboard and paint.
Wonderful.
Believe it or not.
Yeah.
We're going to do that. We're going to bring our robin down here. He's going to disappear behind because he was on there first. But all we do is we bring him to the front.
So easy.
We make him slightly bigger. He will even sit on the front of that birdhouse. So now we're going to make our own embellishments here.
Right.
So if I'm going to just delete him off so he's not in the way. And then I'm going to bring on, let's have a bit of decoration on our birdhouse.
Sounds good.
So we're going to go to the image file again. We'll go back to the embellishments. We'll go to the floras. So there's lots of hand painted. There's lots of photoreal flowers in here. All different goodies for you to play with. Bit of clematis. Let's make this slightly smaller. We'll do that like that. Put it on this side, and there we go. So you can print that off. There's an embellishment ready to go. It's as easy as that to get access to the Go Digi elements.
Brilliant. So you don't have to be technical at all. This is for absolutely everybody.
And I haven't even paid for that program. That program's free. So if you go on to your search engines, if you don't have a word processing document, because there's one that you can get that you have to pay for, but if you don't have that, go on a search engine, put in word processor, free word processor. There's loads on the market there. find them, and they've all got the same interfaces, they've all got the same tools, they've all got insert image, they've all got crop, they've all got flip. You just have to find what your image looks like on there, and then you've got access to everything.
So good, isn't it? Now, I'd really like to know how you and Sarah hooked up, because obviously you're with Crafters now.
Yeah, I'm with Crafters Companion, and super excited to be part of the family. It's such a great, it's a great company. And I've known Sarah for years and years and years. We've been friends, we've met each other on the crafting circuit. Yeah. And she lives down the road from me, and the office is down the road from me, so they're sick to death of seeing me in the office. And it was just about a year ago, it was sort of towards the end of December, I messaged her. We were going to meet up because I wanted to meet Charlie. Yes. And I just said, look, do you want a designer? Do you want to have a go at this? And busy life, her busy life, my busy life, running around, going all over the place. And eventually in March we managed to meet up and have that coffee. Yes. And meet Charlie in our little coffee shop in this lovely little village, and we cooked up the plan to come up with this concept. And that's, as they say, is history. So we've been developing this since March probably. And it's taken a while to just come up with the concept, come up with the idea, to do the digi-kits, which is my thing. Yes. But also to not exclude people. So this is where the other discs come in. Lovely. So we're not going to exclude anybody, people who don't digicraft, people who don't want to digicraft, people that don't want to manipulate the images. The print it and craft is there for you. The inspiration is there for you to get you started. So it'll take you on a crafting journey, if you like. So that's the idea behind the concept.
I love it. And remember, you are getting a CD as a bonus. So it's effectively 3 for 2 with these. So you've got the Go Digi, the Print It and Craft, sorry, and the Inspiration Station. So there's something for everybody in this. Now, so that's $19.98, and your item number that you'll need is 864085. So here's some of the Go Digi.
So this is the Go Digi. So the basis, if we go to the base of the inspiration, Go Digi basically is JPEGs and PNGs, like I've just said. Yep. Think of them as photographs. So each one of these is an individual element, which is why we call them unique digital elements, okay? So they're not printable elements, well they are, but that seed packet can be tiny, 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 or it could be the size of an A4 page. Like you've just shown us. Exactly like you've just seen on the word processing document. Or if you have an existing piece of software, crafting software, that you use, then absolutely take all these images into that, build your digi-kits, or if you use Craft Artist, you can use the software that's on the front of
oh, I can't help you, I'm so sorry.
It's gone out of my head. Anyway, if you've got a CD-ROM with crafting software on the front, and it'll take in images, absolutely, Minecraft Studio, go and you can use that as well. So anywhere that you want to manipulate photo programs, go online, there's free digi programs you can get, you can trial them, you can have a go at it, have a play with it, but it's just accessing the images. Now the images that you're seeing, beautiful. They're either, I've hand painted them, I've hand drawn them, or they're images that I own in books or on book pages, or that I've found, that I've collected over the years, and then I've put them into digital format for you. So there's tons of ribbons and everything. And the inspiration for Lilies and Light comes from Claude Monet. Okay. So my collections will always be influenced by the great artists. Digistamps. So there's a whole load of digistamps. So anything that's drawn in the kits will be on as a digistamp as well. And these can be any size. Again, the poppy could be A4 size, or it could be tiny size, or you could have loads of them, or do whatever you want with them. Because
there was a lovely sample that was sewn, and I was thinking, how have you done that? And you said it's from this.
Yeah, it's absolutely from the digi ones. I don't know if I printed that particular one off. If you have, I'll point it out to you as we get to it. Yeah. And if not, we'll find it on the computer in a minute.
That would be lovely. So there's so many elements.
So there's so many elements.
This is a fraction, isn't it?
This is a tiny, tiny fraction. It's 843, and it's really difficult. So I'm going,
it's because you're excited. These are your products.
Absolutely. So we tried to do like digi-stills to show you all the content, but I think we ended up, even though I'd condensed everything down and put everything together, I think it's like something like 63, and it's just like, okay, that's half the shot. Okay. That would just be boring. So this is the way that we're doing it, and then gradually over time we'll see it on the computer. We've got the frame it's in there as well.
Yeah, really nice.
We've got coloured toppers. So if you just want to print off your toppers and put them onto cards, or if you want to use them in your digital crafting, you can do that. Again, the toppers can be any size, so you can start to make up papers with them. It's limitless, and I don't want to limit you to anything. Then we've got Colour Me Crafty toppers. Right. So the colour toppers are also in, if I can do them, if it's like my hand-drawn images, then I'll make them into the Colour Me Crafty. So I've kind of tried to cater to all different types of crafters, all different ways. And then when I've seen the design teams things come in, like the stitched embroidery and things, I would never have thought of doing that.
Nope.
It was unbelievable. Paper Boutique, I think there's 197 unique backgrounds in here. These are all hand painted by me.
Wow, look at the detail.
So a lot of the plain colours have come from using aquatints or acrylics or inks and water and getting lovely and messy.
Yeah.
And then what I do is with the plain ones, once I've got the colour palette, then I'll take that into the digital programme, and then I'll add on my other images on top. So that's when we get the patterned papers and things like that. And again, we've got Colour Me Crafty papers in there. So if you want to colour them in, and you get 5 unique alphabets, which I've made myself as well.
Wow, you get
so you get the wooden floral, you get the stamp ones. That's the plain wooden one.
Oh, sorry, there we are.
A stamp it wooden one.
Yeah.
And then I think there should be, and this is Claude Monet, my version of Claude Monet's handwriting.
So he's a big influence.
Yeah. So, and then we've got Say It, so there's loads of quotes and sayings and phrases that match the bees, the butterflies, the dragonflies, the water lilies, the whatever it is, and then back to the beginning.
Finally, wow, I mean, and like I said, that is only just scratching the surface of all the imagery. I do need to tell you, the one-day special, 70% of the stock has gone, so it's been a lovely, lovely, successful launch. It's lovely. Okay, so, did you want to do a more in-depth?
Yeah, I'm going to do a more in-depth digi, but I am actually going to finish what I started to say.
Right.
Because I was just going,
okay, yeah.
It's influenced by Claude Monet.
That's right.
So I wanted a starting point for my collection. So a lot of collections come from a starting point. So it might be a theme, like a wedding, a birthday, or a season, or something like that. And I just wanted to do something different. And I always loved the great artists, and I've always loved art history, and I'm really into that kind of thing. And it's always inspired me to do, you know, nothing's ever original. There's always somebody's done it before you, and what better people to be inspired by than the great artists.
Indeed.
So I started with Monet, and as you'll see in a VT that we've got coming up, in my studio, I surround myself with mood boards. I surround myself with images of their art and their colours and everything, and I just get inspired by all of that. So then I'll make my backgrounds, like I've said, and from there I've got my colour palette. And I'm not copying the art, I'm not copying the work.
Yeah.
I just want to pick out the pieces that speak to me, that work for me, that I think are craftable, that hopefully you'll think are craftable as well, that you can use them. And then I'll paint my backgrounds, and then I usually start with the floras first. The flowers are always a good place to start. Lots of mixed media. It depends what kind of mood I want to do with it, how I want to paint it.
Right.
And then we've got the photoreal images as well. So that's me taking pictures of one of the lilies, which you'll see as a photoreal embellishment in there. And then once I've gathered all the bits, and once I've got all my bits and pieces together, I put them all into the computer as files, so literally manipulating them exactly the same, and then I'll start to work on them digitally and cut them out and then turn them into embellishments for you to use.
That's fascinating to watch that. I love it, because, I mean, does it take you a long time?
Yeah, it's probably, it's a good few months for each one, because, you know, you've got the stuff, some of them are quicker than others. It just depends. It depends where my brain goes, and if I can have a really good run at it, it's that creative brain. If you can have a really good run at it, then I can just get lost. And then, and the great thing with these and working with Sarah is that because they're massive, like the DigiKit is bigger than any DigiKit, because I've been given the licence to do that. I've been given the space to do it. They've said yes, I can do what I want to do. So all the bits when I think, oh, I really want that in it. I wanted to make it such a complete kit. That I don't ever start crafting and think, oh, that's missing. You know, there's nothing worse, is there, when you get a collection, oh, that's missing, I wish I had that, wish I had that. So hopefully I kind of put everything in it.
I think you have indeed. I love it. There's so much for you. So you're going to do a slightly more in-depth one now?
I'm just going to go until I'm stopped.
Yeah. Okay, we'll keep her on the phone.
I'm just going to keep going. So this is one of the pieces of software that I found online. You can trial, actually. It's quite a nice little bit of software, but you'll have your own or you will find one. So I've already dropped my picture on here, so we can do a little scrapbook page and an 8x8 scrapbook page. So don't think scrapbooking has to be 12 by 12. It can be any size you want it to be. And it's exactly the same as on the word processing document. It's an image, insert image. So they all work the same.
They do.
You just have different degrees of what you can do with it. So this is the frame. This is all the frames together, and we click OK. And again, this is a frame that I made. I wanted like a corrugated frame with string on it, so I made one. And inked it, and you know, I love ripped up corrugated card. I just think I like the texture of it, actually.
It's
and there's nothing to stop you, you know, when you're doing digital, there's nothing to stop you going, oh, I like that, but I want that to be real. So I could take that as an inspiration and make my own frame. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're going to go back to the files here. to access the CD, I'm just going to show you quickly. And I'm running this from a folder on my computer.
Yeah.
But to access the CD, it's here, and you just double click it, and then you double click the command here, and you will get all the files. But the reason I'm running it from a file on my computer is it's just quicker.
Yeah,
It just
that's all
doesn't
for
have
TV.
the disc doesn't have to run.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's how you access the images. So it's as simple as that.
Okay.
It's just like like I said, as if you had photographs and you're accessing them. Just think about where that file is.
Yeah.
So we've put the frame on, and now we're going to go to embellish it, and we're going to go to bits and bobs this time. So this is literally, I've called it bits and bobs because it's just, that's what it is. It's bits and bobs.
Yeah.
It's book plates, it's buttons, it's all them little bits of ephemera that I've collected. It's bits of jewellery that I own. It's book pages. It's another bit of ripped up corrugated card.
I'd love to root through your craft room.
You know, over the years, I've collected so many bits and pieces, as we all do as crafters. I think, you know, we're all magpies. And my husband always says to me, "What are you ever going to do with that? Do you need another book of music? Do you need?" And I'm going, "Yes, because one day I'm going to use it." and now it's great because I'm actually using all them bits and pieces. So we're going to have this splats here. So this is unique to digicrafting. So things like paint splats we can use digitally, because obviously you won't be able to cut these out and cut a paint splat out and use it hybrid. Well, you might if you're very, very clever. But and talking about cutting out as well, if you have one of them very clever machines that scans things in and cuts things out, there's several on the market. Absolutely, by all means, you can take any images into that and use it. It's a digital, it's digital content, so. If it works digitally, then absolutely. Whatever makes life easier for you.
Yes, because it's about the enjoyment.
It is. That's exactly what it is, Alex. So what I'm going to do is I will just send this to the back behind here and double click it. So literally, you build up your digi projects exactly the same way that you build up a real life project, if you like. It's funny, isn't it? You call them real life and digi, and it's still real life because I'm standing here doing it.
That's right.
So we'll have this. In fact, I'm going to put the dictionary page across there. I'm going to bring in this. See, I've piled them all up here, so let's just separate.
But then you can do your composition and you can see everything. It's just lovely.
And it's a great design tool as well. So even if you want to then, and we've got some great hybrid scrapbook pages on the show that some of the design team done, and I've done myself as well. But you can use this as a design tool. So you can position all this and go, that's exactly the right size now. So you're printing things exactly the right size. So you transfer these to an A4 piece of paper and print them off. You're making your own design sheets, aren't you?
Brilliant.
So we send that all the way to the back. And so you just see it's just building up, building up. So let's look at the paint splats here.
I like these.
So we just link them together. So we've got the paint splats. So I've literally splatted a piece of paint and then cut it out digitally so you can use that. So we'll send that all the way to the back there, and I want several of these, so all I'm going to do is copy.
Yeah, like you would with a
just like I would do with a Word document. Exactly. So like I say, it's the same technology. Even the more complicated programs, it's actually the same technology, you just have to think logically about it.
Right.
And then we'll have another one as well, so because that was the last one I did, it's still there on my little tool. And we'll send that all the way to the back. Arrange centre back like that. Okay. So now we're getting a nice little composition set up. I will bring this back page into here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to transparent that down. So it's just going to be lurking in the background. And again, you know, blending things. There's different ways to blend. There's different programs that work to blend. And this one we can, this particular bit of software we can do this with. So let's give this a little raggy edge. I'll say, okay, so it's just
I like that.
Edge.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, different programs work in different ways, but have the similar kind of effects. Let's bring in a bit of wooden honeycomb. So I wanted a honeycomb. So this one is actually, I put all the shapes on and then I filled it in digitally with a wood effect.
Yeah, there's so much texture. It's wonderful.
And again, I want a second one, so we'll just paste that on there, and then it's exactly the right size, so it will overlap there, which will extend it.
Perfect.
Centre back there, and then we'll just bring on, have this heart here, like this.
Make it the size that you want.
Make it, oh,
You've got so much versatility, haven't you? There's so
Absolutely.
much playtime.
Do you know, that's it, and
Yeah.
and it is, and I know that the lots of digicrafters that I know, and it is playtime, and it is hours lost, and it is dinners burnt.
3 in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just going to jump back in here and pick up this silver gilt here, and actually what this is gilding flakes.
Oh, is it?
So I did a strip of gilding flakes,
Yeah.
several actually, and then scanned them in and then cut them out. So this is a gilding flake strip made by me.
Wow.
For you to craft with.
That's so fun.
Oh, I have hours of fun, and hours of fun thinking up what I can use, you know, because there's... Oh, you see, I don't want to do that, Michelle, do you? No, send it to the back, send it to the back.
And then are we, like, with the things that we craft, using your images, can we make to sell?
You can absolutely do anything that you want to. I want you to enjoy it. I don't want to put any limitations on anything. I just want you to buy and play and come up with fantastic ideas and enjoy. And that's, I mean, that's the one thing that's absolutely astounding me with the samples that have come in from the design team, is that there's so many things that I would never in a million years have thought about. You know, it's just fantastic. I mean, our lovely Lizzie has done me some canvases. She's made me a fantastic bag. Yeah. You know, I can't do things I don't craft like that, but people that do, amazing. We had Hayley on yesterday with Craft Yourself Silly.
Yes.
And she was doing the printable
fabrics. Yeah.
Absolutely, by all means. If you like, so this I could save this as a JPEG, which would be a photograph image. And then I could send it to Hayley and say, please make me a cushion.
How good is that?
Why not? Absolutely. So what I'm doing here, I am going to copy and paste. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
No, I don't want to paste that one.
Oh. But it's so easy to fix.
It's because I'm gassing talking to you. So copy and click off, and we'll paste it there. So we just bring this one over to this side, so it just continues that line across. And we send that. I'm going to just use this top send back because it's quicker, because there's quite a few send backs to do on that one. Okay. Okay. And then actually, if I just paste that again and then make this even smaller, and then I turn it.
Oh, look at this.
So we're going to turn it like that, and then pick it up, and then send it all the way back to there. Then suddenly the heart is hanging down from the picture.
That's gorgeous. Love it.
And then just very quickly, we would go in and I would look for the say-its, which we haven't really had time to look at, but we'll go to the words. Sure. And there's loads of different words here. So this is for you, and different fonts, and some of them are hand-drawn ones, so they're not copies of anything. I want the word always. There it is. So we've got always. Just say OK. Shrink this down here. Just put, so that's my little title on my page like that.
Beautiful.
And then lastly, I would drop in my... let's find a paper boutique and let's go coordinating, and let's just pick up, I think I'm going to pick that one up there, say OK. I'm going to custom shape this one, so let's go a bit more raggedy on this one.
I like that a lot.
Let's transparent this down, and you can even, and a lot of them they'll have different ways of colour changing. This one works like this. Right. So I'm going to saturate the colour a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to change the hue slightly to make it slightly bluer. And I'm going to lighten it. Click OK, so you can see that's got a slight transparency. It's going to sit in the background, stretch that out, and then we'll send that all the way to the back. And there's a little scrap page done.
Boom! Look at this! Isn't that fantastic? So you've got so much choice, so much versatility. You can craft the way that you want to craft. Let me tell you, you will be up until 3 o'clock in the morning having just so much fun with this. So I think we're going to have a look at one of the other CDs now.
Absolutely.
Just while you get yourself set then, there's a lovely little video we can show you about Michelle.
Hi, I'm Michelle Jackson-Walker from MGM Design Studios. I thought it'd be fun to share a little insight into my DigiKit creating. First comes the inspiration. I've chosen artists that inspire me, not to emulate their work, but to use elements, colours, ideas, and the lives that influence them to create a cohesive, craftable kit. I research their work and create mood boards that I put around my studio to immerse myself in the collection. I usually start a collection with the beginnings of the paper boutique and create a host of backgrounds. This generally frees up my mind and gives me a direction, helping me find the colour palette and style for each kit. Then I set to work drawing and painting some of the embellishments, especially the florals. I like to use different mediums for different artists to further create a mood for the collection. Sometimes it might be bold acrylic paint, and other times it might be watercolour paint and pencils. Not all the embellishments are drawn and painted, some are handmade. For instance, they might be moulded from clay, cut from felt or created with cardstock and paint. This then takes me to my photo booth, where I photograph what I have made alongside some of the treasures I have collected over the years to create my photo-reel embellishments. Then it all gets taken to the computer. Backgrounds and paintings are scanned, photos are downloaded, and I set to converting my work into digital elements for you all to enjoy.
And so, as you can see, I am surrounded by an array of amazing samples. So using the CD-ROMs, this is not just about your card making. You can make bags, you can print onto bags. Look at all of these, it's fantastic. You can print your papers and then pop them onto some glass. You see here, this is from one of the digital stamps, and you can make your own embroidery. We've got tissue boxes, look onto the glass you could do here. This is just too cool. Beautiful pieces of mixed media, wonderful for your scrapbooking. Look, there's some that's onto vellum here. Isn't that gorgeous? There's a lovely bag with this. And I've even got some cushions. How nice is this? So this is just what Michelle was saying. You can start printing onto cushions. Oh, it's so strokeable. But your fantastic designs that you've taken from the CD-ROMs that you're going to get in the one day special, and you can just turn them into anything that you fancy. It's beautiful. So we've got cushions. What else have we got? I'm just going to root around under here. Some wonderful scrapbooking pages. Have a look at this. Don't they look so vibrant and colourful? What about onto some acetate? Thank you, Michelle. I just want to show you as many as possible. Check this out. We were talking about, it looks like it's a, you know, when you see a projector. Isn't that fabulous? Now, we've got this acetate on the show, so do stay tuned for this. We've got wreaths. Look at this. It's going, it's slippery. I'm going to hand that back to Michelle. Oh, what else have we got? Pieces of home decor. Oh, there we go. That is, oh, calendars. There we go. Calendars, we've got placemats, we've got a fabulous canvas, which I believe is done by Lizzie Curtis. Yes, so there's just oodles of different things that you can be making. It's absolutely so striking. This is onto fabric. Look at this.
Lizzie's mum's done that one.
Lizzie's mum's done it. That is awesome.
Into. You see it's stitched into.
Look at that. Yeah, that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So your possibilities are absolutely limitless. Now, we are 3/4 of the stock gone on the one-day special. We'll show you loads more samples later, but it's just to whet your appetite how many possibilities that you've got. So with the one-day special, you've got your 3 CD-ROMs, all designed by Michelle, Lilies and Light, so it's all based on Monet. And you've got the Go Digi, the Print It and Craft, and you've also got the Inspiration Station. So we've just seen some of the lovely imagery from Go Digi. We're going to see some more from the other ones in just a second, but have a look at this price. Just $19.98, and you've got hundreds and thousands and thousands and thousands of images, and it's basically 3 for the price of 2. We do like that. 864085 is your item number. All you need to do then is give us a call, 01733602000, or check out on the website at hochanda.com. Right then, Michelle, which one are we doing now?
OK, so when I said at the top of the show, Go Digi, that's where I start. That's where my collections all happen from. Once I've got all them elements, the 843 unique digital elements, I didn't want to exclude anybody.
OK.
So anybody who doesn't want to manipulate or just wants to do some speedier crafting is kind of going back old school, really, because I'm giving you sheets to print off and then cut out.
Lovely.
So get your scissors out and go old school. And these are some of the samples from Print and Craft. This is your 641 sheets.
Whoa, look at this. Good for the bingo rings. Imagine this. So many beautiful images on here. So do you want me to have a flick through this one?
If we just flick through this one. So this is basically what the Print It and Craft is all about. So I've taken my digital element and then I've put it on in different sizes, and then where it works, I've flipped it the other way, because again, like I didn't want anything missing from the collections, I also didn't want you to go, oh, I want it the other way around.
Yes.
So if you're not going to manipulate it yourself, I've kind of done that for you. I've worked between the size of a 12 by 12 page down to a 4 by 6 card, so it should fit all different project sizes. and it's whatever you want to do. So this just takes your hybrid crafting on to the next level. So get your embossing powders out, get your sparkle pens out, you know, get all them things out and start to play, manipulate and build and do 3D projects or just cards or whatever it is whatever it is your joy, then do that. So this is my birdhouse that you saw me making on the DT just now. Which is my little strips of card. Hand-painted seed packets, and actually the packets were made out of brown paper and ink and distressed and everything. So where I haven't been able to draw something or I don't own something, then I've made it as well. So you've got all your bits and bobs section. Again, this is just, you can see the difference in the size of the stack there. And then the tags, which are made up from the images within the CD. And then all the little bits of embellishments and jewellery and ribbons and trims and things like that.
Oh, and then we go on to these.
And then we've got the digital. Now, this is what the embroidery is done with.
Right, that particular one.
That digi-stamp there. Yeah.
Wonderful. And can I do... Oh, we've got toppers as well.
Got toppers. So you've got... In total, there's 69 coloured toppers, and then there's 52 of the Colour Me Crafty toppers, because these bits and bob toppers aren't there as Colour Me Crafties, but all the floras, faunas and gardens are there as well.
Right, look at this.
You've got 67 sheets of embellishments, you've got 22 sheets of digi-stamps, you've got 11 sheets of colour toppers, you've got 10 sheets of Colour Me Crafty toppers, you've got 19 sheets of say-its, and the say-its work in... did we just go past
I think we might have done.
Okay, so the say-its, I've put them in 3 different versions.
These ones?
Yeah. So this is Say It with a title. So these are bigger versions of the quotes.
Yeah.
So this is for your bigger projects like your scrapbook page and things like that. There's also Say It in the frame, which is so you can cut these frames out, then you can ink them, colour them, do whatever you want with them. So they're ready done. And then there's Say It Your Way, which I've given you enough space around to cut the shape that you want, or to put it through your die cutting machine so you can die cut and everything. And we've got sections on dragonflies, bees, butterflies, gardens.
That just is this one. I was just reading. We're all fairies. Oh, that's so beautiful. Living underneath the leaf of a lily pad. Beautiful.
Yeah. So nice little quotes, and there's also Monet quotes in there as well. So there's actual quotes from Monet with his name written underneath.
Oh, backgrounds as well.
Yep. So you've got 7 sheets of frame-its. You've got 487 sheets in the paper boutique, and that includes square, coordinate, square patterned, square Colour Me Crafty, A4 coordinates, A4 patterned, landscape and portrait, and A4 Colour Me Crafties. And then you've got your 5 unique alphabets. And I've done the alphabets on sheets like you would buy in a crafting kit.
Ah, here we are.
So you get several of one letter.
Right.
So you print out, and then you've only got to cut them out once. And then that's the Monet lowercase.
Beautiful.
There we saw the uppercase earlier on.
And then we're back to the beginning. As a quick aside, now, of course, this is from the Print It CD run. Print It Craft. And you can print onto other items.
Absolutely. Yep. So this is a little paper pack that we put together, a printable pack we put together from Crafters. I requested these.
Wonderful.
And everything is just fantastic to print on. So the acetate, the vellum, the printable light card. So all these samples here are on printable light card.
Okay.
So you can see the print quality, because I know you all ask me what do I print on and what's the best thing. So this is printable light card. The parchment prints up beautifully. The vellum you saw on Nick's lovely sample with the parchment craft in there. The satin finish, that whole stack of the 641 PDFs is printed on the satin finish. So if you hold one of them, you'll see the quality of print.
I will get
and
one.
Honestly, and also, and I'm going to say this, if you've seen my samples before, I've always printed at the best quality when I've printed out, because I wanted it, obviously, you know, to see it. All of these samples are printed on standard quality.
Okay.
It's the paper, it's the quality of paper. The images are in at the highest possible quality for printing. And the material that you're printing onto. So I am beyond thrilled with the quality of papers and cards that I've got access to. And the other great card to print on is the Nina card, and watercolour card is fantastic as well.
Brilliant. So the details are on screen then. It's £18.99 for all of those different mediums to print on. Your item number is 757564. Half the stock of this has gone, because you might as well get this with the saving that you get from the One Day Special.
If you're going to dabble, just have a go. And, you know, like the acetate's fantastic. You saw the butterflies and dragonflies that I'd printed off. Get your sparkle pens on them. Get it to the back and you give it a bit of sparkle. Sparkle up your cards and things like that. You know, it's just... It is limitless what you can do with it. So, do you want to have a quick look at the interface on Print It and Craft?
Yes, please.
Okay, so when you put your disc in, you're going to get this little interface, and this one's a little interactive one.
Look! Oh, sorry, this makes me very happy.
So you just move your cursor over, and things will move about. So the bee flutters. Look, the little bird cheeps, the butterfly. So we've just got a little bit of movement here. So it's just a little bit of fun before we get in there. And then what you can do is you can click on one, and it'll take you to the different sections. So if we go to the, let's go to the butterfly. Oh, hello. Now you see it's because I double-clicked it there.
Oh, okay.
It's because my computer was playing catch-up there.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yes. So what does the bird cage do? Oh, the bird cage takes us to the toppers. So should we have a look at the toppers?
Yeah.
So that'll take you to the separate folders, and then we can look through the toppers here. So let's go to top it. We'll go to garden. And that opens it up, and then we've got these two topics here. So if you click one, it's going to open up in your PDF reader. That was the remnants of an inspiration station that I had open earlier on, but you'll see them in a minute.
Okay.
So there's the topper sheet. So you print them off, cut them out, craft to your heart's content.
Lovely.
So this really is, like I say, is taking you hybrid crafting onto another level, because you've got like loads of different goodies to play with. So here's some of the say-its. So this is, we'll go to a say-it in the frame, and we'll go to Monet quartz. So we'll see some Monet quartz. Computer nearly says nah. So there's these Monet quartz here, and you'll see Claude Monet's written in the alpha that I've put into the kit, because I copied what my version of Monet's writing there. So we just have another look through, pick another section. What does this one go? This one goes to embellish it. So if we go around here, we've got the gardens, the bits and bobs, floras, and I think I just clicked that by accident. Yes, I did.
Which one?
The floral.
Oh, I see.
And then you've got your trimmets there as well, which is all your ribbons. There you see all these things. So this is the violet here. So this is the coloured version of the Digi one that I pointed out just now, that the embroidery is done from.
Okay.
That was a bit of a long-winded way to say it, wasn't it? And it's going to come up on screen now, and there it is. So you
Beautiful.
get the ideas, print it and craft. So print it and craft, like I say, is going back to old school. So you're going to start making your hybrid projects. So this is one that I made on the show yesterday. So this is just from dragonflies and butterfly sheets printed out, and a say-it.
It's beautiful.
So it's 3 sheets that are printed off, and then it's made that. So it was lovely for your own home, but it'd be lovely to sell at your craft fairs and things like that.
What you could charge.
And you can get, you know, and get these wicker things quite cheaply, you know, inexpensively. That's the word.
That's the word.
And then, you know, and things like the cards, you can do the hybrid cards as well.
Look at that, and then of course you can cut them out, decoupage them up.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You can do whatever you want with them.
Nice, look at that. And the colours you've got going through it are so bold and wonderful.
I love colour.
Yeah.
Might surprise you. But even though I've taken Monet as the inspiration, you know, I think people associate Monet with the pale pinks and lights, which are all in there. But he did some really strong colours. He did a lot of poppy paintings. He did a lot of fields of poppies. He did amazing sunset paintings. So it's the richness of colour, and colour's kind of my thing. Colour's what I'm really drawn to. So things will always have a depth of colour, and always have maybe strange colour combinations like red and purple you maybe wouldn't always think would go together, but actually it really, really works.
It does indeed.
This is a print it and craft as well.
Look at this. So it's so beautiful, isn't it? So again, thinking outside the box, this is not just about card making. You can be using your images on so many wonderful things. And it's just a lovely finishing touch, isn't it? To, like you're saying, relatively inexpensive objects, and and also because you've got so many images, you know that you can personalise things for people. So, you know, for somebody who likes robins, somebody who likes butterflies, it's all there.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you know, it's endless possibilities. You just make it whatever you want to make it.
Okie dokie. So I shall leave you just for a second then.
Yeah.
Do another quick recap, and I'll be back with you in a second. So here we've got the CD-ROMs. It's proving really, really popular, and it's brand new from Michelle. All of Michelle's designs either drawn by her fair hand or taken from real images. It's just beautiful. Again, I must show you some more samples. Let's see what else we've got here. All in front. Look at these canvases. And this has been sewn into, so you can use the digi stamps and then you can sew over the top of them. Doesn't that... Oh, look at all my French knots. You know, I love those. And then we've got
Lizzie and her mum.
Lizzie and her mum.
Lizzie and one's
That's beautiful. Crafting together as well. Isn't that pretty? Look at that with the butterflies flying off the canvas. What else have I got here? More. There's loads. Hang on. I've shown you some of these. Just want to carefully put them back because obviously everybody's put so much lovely work into it. Well, it's not work, is it? It's playing. That's the thing. Look at this. And then you put your own style on it because there's so many different styles, whether you like to grunge it up, whether you like to make it really pretty, or you can lighten the colours, you can deepen the colours, you can change all the sizes. That's the options that you've got. Or if you just want to straightforward print everything out, that's what we've seen so far. Look, beautiful gift boxes. Oh, look, hang on, I have to put this down because it was one of those, I picked it up by the lid. It's one of these that I adore. It's fabulous. Here we go, ready? Oh, boom! Oh, that is so pretty, isn't it? So again, you're seeing so many possibilities with how you can use these. Oh, yeah. No, let's have a little look. No, that's all right. Come in.
Look at this little album here, which is just fantastic. Linda's made this for me. And look, so she's used all the postcards here. Yeah. And then left a little space you can put photographs, you can tell your stories, you can do things like that. You know, it's just... It just, honestly, the design team have done such a great job. They've astounded me. They've come up with some fantastic ideas, special little presents, special keepsakes. It's been glorious to see all the stuff coming. Yes, that opens up. Yeah.
Well, again, if you were making to sell, what you could charge for something like this, do you know what I mean? Or books, upcycling or recycling books.
So we've got a little notebook here, and this is really simple. So this is one of the pattern background papers, and then inside is using one of the Colour Me Crafties as the pages.
Oh, those? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's clever.
Isn't that really clever? And simple, but really clever, really effective, and you know, you just think that's really different.
It is, it's lovely. So again, throughout the course of the hour, well, there's not too long left, but we'll show you lots more samples. Now we are approaching 80% of the stock gone on the one-day special. So you're getting the 3 CD-ROMs, the Go Digi, the Print It and Craft. So we've seen these two. I think we're going to have a look at the third one now, which is the Inspiration Station. Really looking forward to that. So you're getting the 3 CD-ROMs with thousands and thousands of images and the ways that you can play with these. It's just £19.98, so you've got a massive saving. You're effectively getting one of these for nothing, 3 for 2. 864085 is your item number. Wow, even more, look at this.
So I'm gonna pass you some of these. So, Inspiration Station, I know, at the end of every show I'm just like, where is everything underneath? Inspiration Station, 25 projects.
Okay.
So what the idea behind this is 25 projects imagined by me. I give you a serving suggestion, I make the project, and then I give you full step-by-step colour instructions to make the projects. That's not one of them, that's one of my samples. No, it's fine, it's my fault. It's my fault. And then you get all the craftable companions that go with that project to make that project. So this is a Colour Me Crafty one, so I'll go through all the colouring in of that and what I've used. So I've used Centura Pearl to print on and things like that.
Brilliant.
So you get all the instructions for everything.
Oh, we've got to have a look at this one. So we've
got the little cards, and then, so with this one, this could be a flat card, or you can use the template, which is in your craftable companions, so you can actually build the little garden shed.
Wow, look at this.
Doing pieces of home decor. So this is showing printing onto... I've taken the glass out and I've put a piece of... printed onto the acetate and put the acetate in instead of the glass.
Oh, very clever.
So you get the floating... So there's floating words down here.
Yes, you can just see there. Yeah. I'll just avoid the glare. So many projects. So how many did you say?
25 full colour projects, full step-by-step colour projects. I'm just going to put that under there just in case it falls off. Lots of... we've got 5 8x8 scrap-its. We've got these... I'm calling these create-its because although I've made 3D projects and some of them, and I've made home decor, they could be card fronts. So this could be a 7x5 card. So I don't want to limit it. I just want to say you're creating or you're scrapping it, that's all.
Oh, look. Here's still going. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Honestly, you really do give us loads of inspiration. That's great, because we all get into a crafter's block at once.
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, if you've never done the digicrafting, you've never done the hybrid crafting, or you think you haven't, although if you have ever printed off from a computer or printed from a CD-ROM, crafting CD-ROM, you have digicrafted. So there's no big mystery to any of this. But if you're kind of lost, don't know where to go with it, this will just give you that starting block, and it's all the sheets are there ready to print out. They're all the right size for the size of project that I've suggested, but that project could be any size you want it to be.
You just change it up. Beautiful. Thank you, Michelle. It's
You're
great
very
to see
welcome.
this. So are we going to have a look at the
So
CD?
I'll just very quickly show you how this works on the CD. So again, we have another interface, a different kind of interface, and this one will just lead you through the projects. So, like I said, we have Scrap It 8x8s, there's 5 of them, there's 5 Scrap It 12x12s, and don't panic about being a 12x12, you can still print this on your A4 printer.
Oh.
So I've split the background paper, so if I just show
yes,
you,
please. Sorry.
so maybe on this page here,
There you go.
so you can see, so this is a 12x12 scrapbook page printed off on an A4 page. So to make it full 12x12, I've backed it onto 12x12 cardstock.
Brilliant.
And then I've split the papers. So your papers will come in 2 sections.
Yeah.
And then we very cleverly cover up the join, and no one would ever know.
So good.
So you can have your 12x12, so you start to think outside the box and think in a different way to do it.
see
And
it
that's
again
exactly the same, yeah.
Very clever.
So there's 5 of them.
You've thought about everything.
We've got, I just wonder what goes on my head. 5x5 Create-Its. We've got 5x7 Create-Its. We've got 6x6. We've got 6x10. We've got an 8x10. We've got 2 A5s and we've got some DLs.
Okay.
So what do we want to look at? Shall we look at one that I haven't looked at? I think we'll go to the A5 actually.
Okay.
Let's go to the A5 and let's open up that garden shed.
Yeah.
So here's the garden shed. Okay, life's a garden. So do I need to double click this? Hang on, is it working? Yes, it's there, it's there. And it'll open up in your PDF reader. Don't panic if you don't have one, there'll be a link on there, but most people have them now.
Yeah.
So this is an Inspiration Station project. You get a digital, I'm pointing to the computer screen, you can't see it.
No, it's fine, it's all good.
This is the digital inspiration. So this is kind of the flat version, if you like, although it's not flat because it's shadowed.
Yeah.
And then this is a picture of the actual finished project. Then I tell you what I've printed on, what glue I've used, what pens I've used, how I've inked things, and then I talk you through exactly how to start to build it up. So how to cut your back piece out, how to put it onto a mount board and cut it out of a thicker piece of card, safest way to do that, your templates, how to use your templates, inking with your aqua pens.
Bless you, you've done everything.
That's Sheena. You see, I watch Sheena do that.
Yeah.
The aqua market inking now, that's it, because I use so many colours to choose from. Glue it together and then decorate it up, so it talks through the whole thing like that, and then this is your craftable companions.
Aha.
So you get, so I've already cut this to shape for you, so you just print that and then you can cut it. We've got the little roof section here, we've got the doors with all the hinges and everything. You've got all the little flowers, you've got the sign, you can have the sign either hanging on the string or you can print it off yourself and mat and layer it up yourself. I've done you can have your sentiments in different ways. So I've given you options as well. There's your the wooden papers for the shed, and that's the template for the shed.
Brilliant.
So you get that template as well with this project, because I made the 3D project and I thought, oh, nobody's going to know how to make the shed. I'll give you the template for that one.
Honestly, you have done everything.
So that's really how Inspiration Station works. And if I show you one, I'm just bending down here, I'm coming back. So this one here, this is a printed out one. Okay. So if you want to just show that, Alex, just so that we don't have to look at a screen the whole time.
Okay, so this is another project start to finish.
So this is the this is a 6x6 Scrap It, and this could be the front of a card. Now this is using Colour Me Crafties, and it's using Digistamps.
Right.
So it's a mix of the two, and then but using them in different ways of not just colouring them in like with detail. Let's colour them in with ink. So if you go through, you'll just see the step-by-steps going through.
I love you've put my serving suggestions. So that's the finished article you've taken a photo of.
Yeah.
And then here we go, going through, cutting out the elements, sparkle pens.
Sparkle pens, lots of sparkle pens. Yeah, absolutely loving the sparkle pens at the moment. So you get the instructions exactly like you've just seen on the computer.
There we go, still going, there we go. Bit of distressing around the edges.
Yeah. So you'll get little crafty hints, crafty hints and tips, how I craft, how I build things up to be in 3D, you know, how things work in my head, why I do certain things.
But do you know what, this is really nice, obviously for the seasoned crafter, if you're having just a bit of a crafty block. Yeah, also great for beginners.
But I'd like to think it's like, the way I think about it in my head is it's like a big fat crafting magazine on a CD.
Ooh, that's a really nice description.
So you can just go, oh, I fancy doing that project, and you're going to get all the inspiration and everything. So then you'd print it out on the various different materials. So
Yeah.
this is printed onto the vellum. So this is so I can have some vellum butterflies. So any bits you don't use, you just put them in a box and keep them for another time. This one is printed onto, this is a satin finish paper here for the matten layers and the background. And then we've got a bit of Nina cardstock here for these butterflies. The Nina cardstock really moulds really well, so and it keeps its shape really well.
Nice.
So from there, I would then cut out all my bits and pieces, and I would do my mats and layers and do my sparkle pens.
Yes.
And do a little bit of, so if you turn that
that's
over, you'll
nice.
see it's got metallic pencil on the back.
Oh, yes, yes. And that's beautiful.
So I talk
isn't
through
it?
doing that, so embossing that one and doing it, and there's your mats and layers, and there's your little sparkle butterfly to go on the top.
Yeah.
Do your mats and layers, and there's your, there we go, the Colour Me Crafty for the background.
Right.
And then all I would do is I painted up a cheap canvas, an inexpensive canvas.
It's all good. It's true,
with some
though.
acrylics, and splattered some sparkle pen across.
Yeah.
And then you just put that on, and then you just layer it up, and then you come up with the finished piece, which has disappeared under a
We've got
mound.
so many
Under a
fabulous
mound
samples.
of bits.
Hang on then.
It's down there.
Is it? Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
So here's the finished one here.
Okay. And there you have it. So it's beautiful, isn't it? Look at all this inspiration. Also, it's quite nice looking at your ideas, because I think we can get stuck in certain styles.
Absolutely. And you know, I do have a certain style, and that's why the design team has amazed
We're showing
me,
you
because it's so many different things, and it's where it is. You're right. You as a crafter, you kind of do a certain thing every single time, and then suddenly you see somebody else's idea and you go, oh, which is what, you know, it's what Hochanda's all about. It's what sharing's all about, isn't it? And it's sharing them ideas. So hopefully, it just gives you a little bit of a direction to go in, and a bit of what can I do with this.
Beautiful. Well, now, if you've got this in your basket, because I know you've been watching, you see, check out your basket, because we've now seen, sorry, we've got this wonderful wealth of samples here, but you've now seen all three of the CD-ROMs. What you can do with them is just phenomenal, and they're all different.
They're all completely different. They're grounded from Go Digi.
Yeah.
That's the starting point. But it is a definite journey. So Inspiration Station kind of gives you your starting point, which leads on to Print It and Craft. So then you start printing out your sheets and imagining your own projects, and then you can take it just further, beyond further with the Go Digi, because then you've got all that manipulation. But it's the same. So it's all working together, because it's all the same imagery. It's just done in different ways.
That's what I meant, sorry. Yes, that was
We got there in
much
the end.
better than I meant. There we go. A quick mention, again, of our printable essentials. So these are all different types of mediums that you could be printing on. So here you can see we've got the vellum paper, and they're all fab quality.
They're just amazing quality. They print absolutely beautifully. You've just seen the vellum there when I printed it off for that project. Decoupage paper is lovely as well.
Yeah.
It's a slightly thinner paper, but it prints really, really well. We've got that, is this the printable ink? Oh, the inkjet acetate.
Yeah.
I'm in absolute love with it. It's just amazing. And it holds its form really, really well. It's slightly thinner. It's not a massive micron, so you couldn't construct with it. But it does hold its shape. These have been squashed in a box, and they're still holding their own, the wings on the dragonflies.
Look at that.
So yeah, it's a really good quality acetate.
And then you've got
the parchment paper, which is lovely if you want like a vintagey feel or something like that. You can print it off, and it just gives it a different colour to the colours.
Beautiful. Carrying on, are we back to the? Oh, there's the light card.
The printable light card is probably my go-to card, actually. This is one that I use a lot, because it's a slightly lighter card, but it's still got a bit of weight into it.
Yeah.
So you can manipulate it, and it'll hold its own, and it's just a really nice print. It's a really nice print.
Fabulous. So there we go. And then you've got the finished printed paper as well, the satin finish. So this is £18.99. Your item number is 757564. Now, so I'm just going to, because we're running out of space, I'll just pop that under there.
I do apologise.
It's wonderful. I like it.
This is how I end up in my craft room. I'm just like, where's my desk?
It's buried under these samples. We are just going to have another look, just to finish off, at some finished samples, if we may. Do you want to come with me, Michelle?
Absolutely, yeah.
Because, like we've been saying, this is you've got so many possibilities. There's so much versatility. It's not just about your card making, and I think you know, as I've learned now, being part of the channel, that you end up not sticking with one type of craft anyway. So to have a tool like your CD-ROMs that's going to take you across all the different crafts is amazing.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I always say we're all crafters. We might label ourselves stampers or card makers or scrapbookers or anything, but actually at the end of the day, we're all crafters, and we all borrow from each other's craft. We're all inspired by each other's crafts. We might use it in a different way, but we're all inspired by it. And so this collection for me, especially my digital collection, is just me saying, here's a lot of stuff that I want to craft with, that I've created, and I want to give it to you, and I want you to enjoy it and have fun with it. And it's honestly, there's nothing more thrilling than seeing people use my artwork and come up with these amazing projects that they've come up with. Just absolutely blown me away completely.
Look at these. I mean,
this card. I mean, there is instructions on the back. It's cosmic shimmer watercolour paint. So this must be a digi-stamp that's been used. It's just beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. That's Alison's there.
That's gorgeous.
But stunning and simple at the same time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
you know,
so
it's
effective.
onto black card, and it's just really effective. And then you'll get, like Rachel's done this one here, which has got one of the lovely toppers on, which is matte and layered, and a tag, and then added real life embellishments, so real life hessing in. It's what I said to you just now, wasn't it? Add real life into it. You know, still have your textures. I love my textures in my crafting, and you know, I won't ever let all that go. So you mix things up. A lovely bag that Lizzie made for me. I just think it's fabulous, again in its simplicity. And
got to show another
while
cushion.
we've got the bees.
Yes.
I'll show you the bee cushion.
So it gets printed onto the fabric?
So Alison's printed directly onto the fabric here. So this wouldn't be washable because it's obviously ink. But if you used a transfer material, like a T-shirt transfer material, and then ironed it on, then it would be washable, of course. But again, in its simplicity, I absolutely love it. I love the tag. I just think it's fantastic, and there's one of the sentiments that's in the kit as well.
Beautiful.
You know, just again, that's one element. That's one out of the 843 digital,
just a few
digital elements that are in there. Of course, we've got the digi scrapbooking. So if you do have your digi programs, you can do your digi scrapbooking. So this is our Revette's digital pages here. Absolutely stunningly beautiful. But of course you can hybrid these. So you might not want to keep them digital, but you can print off these elements, like we say, use the word processing document, print them off, cut them out, or use your print it and craft. You know, you're going to have the different size things, so you can start to build up your pages that way. So there's loads of digi pages there. And again, the poppies. I love this one. I just think it's joyous.
Stunning, isn't it?
Absolutely lovely.
Michelle, thank you. I've really enjoyed the hour, and it flies, doesn't it? So one more time then, you are getting these fabulous 3 CD-ROMs. So you've got the Go Digi, you've got the Print It and Craft, and you've also got the Inspiration Station. So then they're different formats, basically, different ways of using all of these wonderful images.
It's, you know, you might only want the Print It and Craft or whatever, but this takes you on a journey, and I just think all 3 together will take your crafting to another level.
And of course, remember, this is 3 for 2 effectively, $19.98, but that price will be going back up at 6 p.m. this evening. 864085 is your item number. Do give us a call, or of course you can check out on the website at hochanda.com. Thank you very much, Michelle.
Thank you so much.
See you at 5 o'clock.
See you at 5.
All right, more coming up after this short break. Stay tuned. And coming up next, we've got paper sculpting with Sizzix, followed by cross-stitch by Stitch Kits, and then we're with Leslie from Chocolate Baroque.
Hello, I'm Leanne Chivers from Crafters Companion. I'm Head of Creative Development for the company and responsible for bringing all of the fabulous products that you see from us on Hochanda. I've been crafting for many years. In fact, since I was 5. My gran taught me to knit, I've been sewing with my mum, but my great love is papercraft. It's the thing that I love to do most. I really do enjoy colouring. Rubber stamping was my first love. It's still the thing that I turn to in my spare time. Our Spectrum products, I believe, are second to none. They're definitely the thing that I'm most proud of. in terms of my journey with Crafters Companion. I know we've got lots more innovation, lots more inspiration, fabulous demos for you in the next months and years coming here on Hochanda, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you there. So make sure you don't miss my shows with Crafters Companion on Hochanda.
Hi, I'm Bev, I'm from Be Crafty. We have been going for about 14 years, and 4 years ago we started designing and making our very own stamps just for you. All of our stamps are designed and made here at Be Crafty by my own fair hands, and we love using them for lots of different crafty projects. I love playing with our stamps and templates and getting as inky as I can, whether it's spraying or blending ink or stamping ink, paints, everything. We absolutely love it, and that's what we want to show you when we come to Hochanda, because we get to demo as much as we like, which is fantastic, so I can show you all the techniques that I'm learning too. So make sure you don't miss the Be Crafty shows on Hochanda.
Hiya, good afternoon. Welcome to Hochanda on this Tuesday, and welcome to an hour that's bringing back a toolkit that we've not had before, but I know Sizzix did do a little while ago. Then they discontinued it. Now they brought it back, and it's all about shaping your petals and shaping your leaves. We had this earlier on this morning. Really popular it was as well. Very busy for it. It is back by popular demand and brand new to us today. Have a little look at this toolkit, because this is super duper. You've got ball end tools, so you can shape leaves and petals brilliantly. You've got scissors, you've got tweezers, and you've even got a little twilling tool as well, so you can make you know, the twirled flowers. You get two mats, a foam mat and also a mat to use with your leaves, and we'll show you how that works in a minute. But it is back, and it's £23.39 if you're a Freedom member. Otherwise, it's £25.99. So Sizzix used to do this, but didn't for a while, and now they've decided to revisit it. Lots of people were asking for it. So this is what you need to shape your petals, shape your leaves perfectly, and it's 432796. Something else that we want to show you as well. This did sell out earlier on, but we've been able to get some extended delivery stock for you. It's going to be dispatched on the 8th of December, so only 3 days' time. We had such an interest in this earlier on. 21 dies. All of these flowers basically are dies within the actual plastic wallet that comes with it as well. But it means that you can basically sync these into each other to create wonderful three-dimensional flowers. Use maybe your toolkit to shape them. You've got the branch, you've got the leaves, and the various different designs of flower there as well. So that is back by just £9.99. Maybe you've got a few Secret Santas to think about recently or in the future. Then this is going to be a perfect prize and a perfect price as well at £9.99. 977 890 if you would like that. Katie's with us.
Hello.
Hello, my love. You right?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good. And great demos earlier on today. Everybody saw how useful this toolkit is.
This is the kind of toolkit that changes the dies you've already got.
Yeah.
So if you've got flower dies at home, butterfly dies at home, dies that you want to make 3D, you want to give some dimension to, this is the kit that totally changes the look of them again. So obviously you get your ball tools in there, which is several different sizes, so it depends on how big the die cut is that you're using, depends on what ball tool you're using.
And the tweezers are genius, because when you release them, they actually stay closed, so they're basically sprung-loaded. So if you're doing things like heat embossing and things like that, they're invaluable, but also for shaping some of your petals, which Katie will show you, they're great for that as well. Scissors, tweezers, 4 ball tools, you've got your quilling tool, and also you've got your leaf shaping vine, it creates the veins in the leaves basically. We'll show you that a bit later on. And 2 of these mats as well. One that's foam, one that's a lot denser, and that's what you do your leaf vines on, and we'll show you that a bit later on. £25.99. Now if you have a little look at just a few of the little items we've got around us here, these flowers, as you can see, they're not one-dimensional, they're not flat, they've got 3D dimension, and they just look so realistic and so beautiful. and easy to do too.
Really easy to do, and it's just a case of playing around with what you've already got, you know, or dies that you're getting. You just play around with them, you shape them, you use different tools to shape them, you get a totally different look every time you do.
Now, we've got lots of other dies in the show today as well. We'll go to a couple of the dies for you that we didn't actually have in the earlier show, or didn't have them on the counter anyway. This bunch of flowers we kind of showed you on a slide earlier, but didn't actually show it to you live. Really busy and really popular it was as well earlier on today. When you see what you can do with this. All of these flowers here have been made by this die, and this is one of the biggest dies in the show as well. Can you see here, if I tilt it towards the camera, you can see where those concealed blades are, and there's a lot going on this die.
You get lots, yeah, so you get enough to make 3 different flowers, if you like, without even going into mixing and matching them into different sizes. You get the centre of the flower and the leaves. Now, this is a Big L die, but because it's a Big L die, it's still only 6 inches wide, so it still fits through your standard Big Shot in exactly the same way. It just gives you, you know, more cutting space.
And that's what you need. You need any of the Big Shot machines for these dies. Machines. And the blades are actually concealed within the foam on the back there. And you can see that you can make that. It shows you, of course, on the back of the instructions as well, exactly what to do with the die when you get it and how you can make wonderful flowers. Why not have paper floral decorations in vases in your home? You know, real flowers are lovely, but they don't last very long, whereas these will last.
Yeah, and throughout the instructions there, because they're on the back of the packaging. If you want them larger, because they're quite small on the back of the packaging, if you put in the die number or the die name into the Sizzix website and click on instructions, it's got all the instructions, it's got project ideas for all of them as well. So.
Okay. And this is a wonderful frame picture
this is
that's been made using these.
So this shows kind of the 3 different main flowers that you get in there. You get like the gerber type thing, but you get the centres in there as well, which are really handy to use, and then all the little leaves as well. Excuse my red hands, that's from this morning.
Did you get strange looks at the petrol station?
Oh, I always get strange looks.
Oh, OK. Now, £20.99. It was busy earlier on when we just showed it to you on a picture, but now we're showing you the die in the flesh, even busier. So that's the multi-flower, or the bundle of flowers, they're calling it, for £20.99. You can do 3 flowers at a time with that die. And then this is the, by far, most popular die that the Biggs collection have done from Sizzix. The tattered lace, the tattered florals, beg your pardon. The tattered florals, £14.99 is the price for that. 605534 your item number, and it's 4 dies to make those 4 different sizes of flowers that you can see. £14.99, 605534 is your item number there. It is the most popular die that you've done, isn't it?
This is the best-selling die we've ever brought out, and I think because if you look at the various amount of flowers you can make from it, you know, it looks like you get the die, it's got 4 shapes on it, and you think, oh yeah, 4 shapes. When you look at it, there's so many different flowers you can make from that, and I think it appeals to mixed media artists a lot as well.
Well, if you see this frame picture, all of those flowers have been made from that die. Unbelievable, isn't it? It depends on what colour you colour them, also what direction you shape them. Yeah, so one die does so much. 605534, £14.99. And if you have a little look at the website as well, hochanda.com, you'll see everything there that you need, including the brand new toolkit for £25.99. By the way, that's actually got a Freedom price on it as well. So if you want to have that with extra saving, become a Freedom member. £23.39 it is, delivered as well for that price, which is brilliant. And all the other dies, we've got Finlet dies for every machine. There they are at £9.98. There are the Biggs dies as well. The mini florals are absolutely flying. They've got an extended delivery date, remember, of 3 days. So basically this Friday they'll be dispatched. And you've got all those dies that you can see there for under a £10 note, which is amazing. 5-star reviews from lots of you that already own them. Brilliant. OK, Katie.
OK, so this is from the bunch of flowers. Yeah. The bundle of flowers, bunch of flowers, the lot of flowers, the Big L die. Yeah. So we're going to look at kind of shaping these using the kit. So I've cut several out at once already because obviously we want to, you know, get on with the shaping. So you just use your ball tool. So choose the ball tool that you think best fits the petals, if you like, to give it that, you know, that best curl. And literally, you just start working your way around.
The bigger the flower, the bigger the ball you use.
Yeah, basically. And then it literally just starts shaping those petals. So when we turn it over, when we kind of go like this is going to make all this flower go out in a minute. This is what's going to really kind of give it that shape and dimension. So you can cut as many layers as you want, obviously.
And it's really good that they've actually put the foam mat in with the
foam mat's really important, because if I just rub this on there, it would do nothing. No. It's the ball tool with the pressure against the foam mat that gives it that shape, and also it allows you to do it without those flowers bending. If you like, the paper doesn't bend.
And do you have to use a certain type of cardstock? A certain weight?
Anything.
No?
Absolutely anything. I've tried it with all sorts and it works with... It even works if you wanted to put felt onto cardstock, so attach your felt to your cardstock and then do this, it would work the same way.
Oh, right, OK.
Yeah.
And you could also use it on vellum if you wanted to?
Vellum, yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't take long either, does it?
No, it's really quick. And you could just spend a day just doing the flowers, couldn't you? And you've got them all made for when you want your project.
The difference when you have that third dimension rather than just having a plain
such a
flat
difference.
flower. Yeah, massive.
You know, I mean, you can imagine if I had 6 of these cut or 5 of these cut, if I just layered them on top of each other, it wouldn't look anything. But when you add the dimension and then you start layering them on top of each other, that's what gives it that really realistic look.
You've done, what, 4 already in a matter of a couple of minutes?
Yeah. And then just go around. So then with these, you want to, again, you want to layer them all together. So the outer one, you're going to add some glue, and the outer one you're not going to overlap very much. Just to kind of cause a little bit of overlap there.
Right, yeah.
And I'd probably do that with the second one as well, the second layer. So then once we've done that, with then the third one, we'd overlap it a little bit more, just to make it that slightly bit smaller.
Right, OK, make it
so when they all sit on top of each other, yeah.
And what is this flower? Is it a daisy or...? I suppose it could be anything. It could be a gerbera,
yeah. This is the beauty of them, really. Once you start shaping them, you get a totally different look each time.
And different coloured cardstock makes them look like different flowers.
So that one will wrap.
Yeah, we reckon a gerbera.
Yeah, I think so.
Gerbera
I think we'll stick with that. So then we can glue all the... Grab some more glue. Start gluing all the layers together. Where are we?
And think of, you know, other ways of using these flowers. Obviously, they're going to look fantastic in a picture like this, but you can put them on frames. You know,
put them onto
wire?
wire?
Onto wire and have a vase full of them. Yeah, do a few of them, maybe do half a dozen or a dozen. They'll look fantastic in a vase, in the hallway, in the lounge. You could also wear them as jewellery. You could put little pins on the back. We use them as, like, gerbera brooches.
Yeah,
or
of course,
maybe
because
put them
these
in
are big
hairpins.
stars, you can cut them from leather.
Oh, of course, yeah. Because the big stars will cut through virtually anything, what, within reason.
So I'm just going to...
Fabric, leather...
This isn't what the ball tool's intended for, but this is the beauty of having these tools. Once you've got them, you find you use them for all sorts, because what I want to do is pop the centre of the flower through. So this comes off the same die. So you can see these little slits in it. So you fold that in half, like so. And then if we get the tweezers that we've got in the kit, and then just start twisting around.
Right.
See, tweezers make this so easy, because trying to just do... When I was on here the other day, I was doing flowers, and I left my tweezers at home, and it's almost impossible to try and grab them with your fingers.
When you need that second pair of hands, the tweezers are always there. And remember, as I said to you before, the tweezers, when you let go, actually stay closed, so they really do grip onto what you're working on really easily.
So I'm just giving this a little snip just so I can fit that centre part in a little bit easier. I'm just using my old scissors, don't want to use my nice new Sizzix ones to... So you can see there, you've got that beautiful full flower.
That's lovely, isn't it?
Really pretty, isn't it?
If we just show you the frame again, so you can see the other one that's on the actual picture here. I mean, this is all you need, just three flowers, a few leaves, and a wonderful sentiment at the bottom, and that's lovely wall art. And it's cost you pennies to make it. I mean, the frames these days, you can get a frame like this in well-known high street stores for a few pounds.
Yeah, I know.
Very
I stock
inexpensive.
up on them now, I know. You know, and then the other flower is so simple to make, because you've got these 3 flat kind of round shapes. You use your largest ball tool to add the dimension to them. And then again, you know, you just join them together.
They look a bit tulipy, don't they?
Yes.
Would you say?
Yeah, when you kind of twirl them all round.
And these tools are really good value. I mean, I don't know what you pay for tweezers, and when you bought the last pair of tweezers, how much you paid for them, but I would have thought tweezers of this quality, maybe £10 for a pair of those, I wouldn't have thought would be excessive. So to get the whole lot, 4 ball tools, basically there's 3 tools, but they're double-ended.
Yes.
So you get 4 different sizes of ball tool, plus you then get your leaf shaper, or your vein maker, and you also get your quilling head
tool
as well, pair of scissors, and those quality tweezers too.
And the mats.
And the mats for £23.39 delivered, which is great.
And it's one of those toolkits that once you've got, you will use so much.
Yeah.
Suddenly you'll think, oh, how did I ever go? You know, what did I do without that?
You'll always have them by your side on your craft table, that's for sure.
I'd say obviously I used them for this show prep, but since then I've been prepping other things and I've been using them for all sorts. They've really come in really handy. So again, just do the little centre.
And it's all Sizzix branded as well.
Yeah, so it all matches in with our storage tools and, you know, all the other accessories we've got. But look how quickly it is to just start piecing these flowers together.
And you've done that in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, and you know, you could change it, you could ink around the edges if you wanted to, and you add the leaves behind it, it all brings it to life. Look at my hand.
£23.39 then delivered. That's the sculpting, the paper sculpting tools, the ball tools, the scissors, and of course the tweezers as well. And that is 432,796. And you could be making fantastic decorations around the home, just like this. Yeah, so as I mentioned before, there's a story to this. Basically, Sizzix used to have these tools a little while ago, and then they stopped doing them for some reason, and a lot of the customers were getting in touch saying, oh, do you still do the flower shaping tools? And they didn't, so now they do. They brought them back by popular demand, and we have them here for the very first time on Hochanda today. We did a show with them this morning, and here they are, and they are just brilliant quality, and for the price, superb value. This is your foam mat for your shaping of the petals of the flower. This is the mat that you'd use. This is actually a lot thinner and a lot more rigid. This is what you'd use the actual leaf veining tool on, because obviously that would be too squidgy, so you could end up kind of tearing the cardstock. So that's what you use that for. So all three tools, 4 sizes of ball, plus you've got your quilling tool and you've then got your leaf shaping tool as well, the pair of scissors and also the tweezers. And the tweezers, as I mentioned before, are genius in that if I just take the protective cap off the top, look, when they're not being squeezed, they just stay closed. So they're great for holding on to things. If you're doing heat embossing where you normally get your fingers in the way and end up burning yourself, then this is going to be a great safety feature. You've got rubberized grips on both sides as well. So they really are well manufactured and well designed. And also they're great for your twirling of your cardstock to make those centerpieces for the flowers. £23.39 delivered if you're a Freedom member. Otherwise, it's £25.99. If you want to be a Freedom member, it's 888 item number and just £6.97 for a whole month's membership. And the frame, if I just show you again, that's the picture that Katie did. And it's obviously added lots of dimension to that gerbera, and also it's helped to give wonderful dimension to those kind of tulip-looking flowers there. Now, that was, of course, our big die, our Biggs die, the bundle of flowers, which is just by the side here. And we've got it in the studio this time to show you, because it is one of the biggest Biggs dies we do. And there's lots going on in there. So you can actually cut 3 different flowers out in one pass through your Big Shot machine. Only £20.99. That's obviously the strip that you saw Katie use a few minutes ago to do the middle of the flower. And then you've got the various elements that you need to make all 3 of the designs, the gerbera and the other tulip-style flowers. £20.99. You have got instructions on the back, but like Katie said, if you go to the Sizzix website, you can watch them there and see also some project ideas there as well. But talking of Freedom, if you want to join the Freedom Club, this is what you can expect. It's £6.97 a month. And what you get for that, firstly, the main thing everyone talks to us about and is so excited about is the fact they don't have to think about the P&P. Because that normally is a considered thing, isn't it? Oh, how much postage do I have to pay? When you're a member of Freedom, your standard postage is covered for the whole time you're a member. Unlimited standard delivery, exclusive members badges and discounts, and a monthly newsletter as well for £6.97. 888. Now, the other dies we've got in the show, Katie, these are thinlets. So basically, if you don't have a Big Shot machine, you're thinking, oh, I can't use the dies, you can use these. These will go through any die cutting machine.
Yeah, so these are standard thin dies. So these are quite a new one, actually. When you brought these out a couple of months ago, these were the Chapter 4 launch. So beautiful for adding behind your flowers. If you've got the mini tattered florals, they work beautifully behind them. They're just the right size for cards and But just look, I think they're lovely on their own leaves as well. I think Christmas, when you add all greenery to cards and things. Autumn, you can make them oranges and browns. They're the type of dyes that you use time and time again.
And look at the saving. You're making £4 saving off the price of £13.98, so it's about a third off the price, down to under £10, £9.98. That's delivered, remember, if you're in the Freedom Club. Otherwise, it's plus your £2.95 P&P. And 3/4 of the stock of those dyes has already gone. 242256. And we've got a couple of samples at the top here, a couple of cards just to show you the sort of images that they cut out. And of course, well, these just cut, don't they?
These cut, yes.
You then use, of course, your tools to actually give the leaf some veins and so on. £9.98, 242256. Now, we've got another Biggs die for you just here. Now, this is, as I said before, very, very popular. This is going to complement, of course, the tattered florals we showed you earlier on. These are the tattered leaves for you. There's 3 separate dies inside one, basically, or 3 shapes in one die. There we are, look. And these are concealed steel blades. You can't see them, but they're actually within the foam. And, of course, when that goes through a machine, that foam gets condensed, and then the blades are exposed. So that's what does the cutting. And these are really very, very versatile, that you can cut through balsa wood.
Yeah, because it's a steel blade, basically, we say anything you can cut with a sharp pair of scissors, you can cut using the dies. So, you know, balsa wood, craft metals, leather, denim, 8 layers of fabric, mount board, chipboard.
So not just for your card making, think about, you know, if you're putting these on cushions or appliquing them onto outfits or whatever, you can do up to 8 layers of cotton in one go with this die. £14.99, 875 102. Then we have our beautiful Asian flower. This was a very popular choice earlier on, I believe, as well, although we didn't actually show you this in the first show. It was on the website. We did mention it a couple of times. It's £14.99. On the front, you can see it cut out of felt, which, of course, the Biggs dies can do. And this is another Biggs die. Isn't that beautiful?
The shape of this flower is beautiful. In fact, we'll have a look at this one in a minute and use some tweezers to kind of change the shape of it. But it's a really pretty, kind of frilly flower, if you like.
And that's been used to decorate the basket as well, I presume?
Yeah, so all these on the handle of the basket, again, actually all using the same flower.
Oh, right.
But all the, you know,
these are all the
all
Asian flowers?
looks, all using the Asian flower.
Wow, just different techniques. They're all very, very different. And that's what, when you get the toolkit, that's what it allows you to do. Lots of different things with dyes that maybe you've only ever used in one way. Now you're going to find there's probably half a dozen ways.
Yeah, definitely.
Of making flowers from them. £14.99 then. That's another great price and another great die. Add that to your collection, 633063. Then we have our 3D rose for you. Now, bearing in mind, roses are probably the most popular flower that we ever talk about and show you on Hochanda. And this is the 3D rose. So they are beautiful. Look at them. They look so realistic.
I think this is actually, we haven't looked at using the toolkit with any of the 3D flowers yet either, so we'll have a look at that at some point, because the tools, the tweezers and the ball tool really help get that shape of these. They cut flat and then you just roll them around. And
look at the card as well. That's a lovely little decoration on a coat hanger. But if you have a little look at this card here with the rose just offset to the side there, it's absolutely beautiful. Isn't it gorgeous?
It's a nice shape, that, isn't it? Again, it's got that kind of tattered look, hasn't it, on the petals.
And if I just take this die and just again show you, this one, you can use your quilling tool on this, because obviously, as you can see there, it cuts out like a spiral. And it's not obvious what it does, but we'll show you maybe.
Yeah, we'll have a look at
We'll have a little look at that one. So, and it also tells you on the instructions how to do it, of course, as well. But that is that's going to be a big winner. That's going to be a very firm favourite, I'm sure. That's what it cuts out. Look.
That's it, yeah.
And it's that you, with your quilling tool, can twirl to create the actual rosebud. It may not look like it at the moment, but we'll show you how it works. £14.99, 593 053. Then we have our mini florals, remember, that are back in stock. And did I take them down there, or did I bring them back up here? Oh, no, they're here.
Oh, there they are.
I can only see the back of them, so I didn't know. OK, already a quarter of the back in stock has gone. They will be sent out to you on Friday, so not long to wait at all. It might even be sooner than that, actually, they told us at Sussex. But we're just saying 3-day extended at the moment. And every image you get there, there's a die that matches it inside the envelope. £9.99, you've got 21 dies in there for £9.99, 977890. The branches are included, the leaves are included, and basically 3 different styles of flower, and they all nestle into each other, which is really handy. 48p a die it is, and look at what you can do with them.
So these are the same shape as the, you know, the Biggs tattered floral that I said is the most popular die. These are the same shape, but in tiny ones. So obviously if you're doing cards and things, you want smaller flowers. But again, honestly, there must be hundreds of ways you can get from this one set of making different flowers.
Superb. Well, I think for the price, they are absolutely a must. When you consider how often you want to put flowers on, not just cards, but just interior design things as well, when you've got these, I mean, they're going to pay for themselves over and over and over again. Working out about 48p a die, 977890. OK, now the layered flowers that we got for you, have a little look at these. They are available as well. That's another Biggs die, so only compatible with your big shop. And that is $14.99 940 680. You'll know if you've got a machine that you can use Biggs dies in, I'm sure. And then we've also got some 3D flowers. So this is there 3 flowers? Yeah, there's actually 3 different flowers you can make out of that one die. And that's £14.99. Same sort of concept in that it's a spiral that it cuts, so kind of small rosebuds, really. Then we have what they call the Lovebirds, and this is the 3D Rose by Emily Atherton. So that's another spiral, but slightly different in its look. £14.99 for that one as well, 718146. And also the cutting pads that you can see Katie use at the moment. If you struggle to find your cutting pads or your plates because they're normally clear and transparent, and it's a bit like when you put down a sheet of acetate, you can never find it. These are going to stand out. There we are.
Look at that, look.
So if you need some new ones, why not get some green ones? You can find them easy.
You can find them easy. When you put them on your desk, it's so much easier to see them when you're... And sometimes it's just nice to have a bit of colour in your life, especially when it's dark all day. So we're going to look at the Asian flower.
Right.
So I've just started to cut them because really what these shows, obviously, normally I show you, the cutting, but I think we're concentrating more on the paper. I want to show you what the tool set does more than the cutting. So just want to kind of pre-cut things. And
you put the die cutting blade up, yeah?
Put the cutting blade up and then your card on top. I only do that because with a Biggs die, you need to see the image that you're covering, rather than face it down. So we'll just pop these bits out. That'll do. There we go. So we can move all this out of the way now. We can actually...
Well, just a word up as well about tonight, a brand new one-day special at 6 o'clock every evening, of course, 7 days a week. Tonight it is a Sizzix one-day special, but it's Sizzix dies for fabric.
Yes.
So if you're into your fabric, if you're into your plique, your quilting, that sort of thing, then tonight at 6 you're not going to want to miss it. And it's with...
Beth.
You guessed.
New Beth.
So we'll meet Beth at 6 o'clock. Looking forward to that.
So I'm going to twist these petals like we did earlier. So I'm going to put my tweezers in the centre of the petal. And I'm going to hold on to the petal and twist.
So I wouldn't have thought of using tweezers in that way.
I know.
But what an effective way of using them.
And actually, it makes the flower really solid, if you like. Once you start using these tools, it really firms up the cardstock that you're using.
And the cardstock you are using is...
It's just textured cardstock I'm using. But, they'll work with anything, these tools.
Well, by the way, we'll give you a little heads up as to what the one-day special is tonight at 6 on my Facebook page. If you want to have a little search for Dave Bradford on Hochanda, we regularly update that now. All of us are getting into that a little bit more now. So if you want to have a little look and meet Beth ahead of the show, there'll be a post on my Hochanda page a bit later on.
Yeah, so many people have said to me, are you in tonight as well? I'm like, no, not me, not me.
You'll be watching the Nativity.
Yeah, I'm on a mission to get back to Devon fast.
That's got to be one of a child's highlights growing up, the Nativity play at school, isn't it?
I know, I've got to be there, at least by the end, so I look like I've been there. So I'm going to do the same with the leaves as well, so we're going to give those a twist. I've just got to be there at the end and say that was amazing, and that's enough to keep me being a good mum. So then we're going to take one of the ball tools and we're just going to shape into the centre, and this makes them kind of close in a little bit. That one I'm not going to do as much because that's going to be our outer one. So we will pop these together now.
Nestle and sit into
it makes them sit into each other easier. Splat of glue. There we go. So we'll pop that like so. Of course, if you wanted to do just small ones, you'd just cut a couple more of the smaller size, if you wanted to put them on cards or something.
That's a good point.
To layer those up, and then we've got the centre parts as well, so we'll just give those a little shape as well.
So it turns them into like little cups, to be honest, when you put the ball tool in the centre.
Yeah, it does. So we'll add the leaves onto the back. And I think, yeah, I'm just going to grab a couple of little strips of cardstock because...
Well, by the way, over a third of the stock of these florals, the 21 dies, over a third of the stock has gone. You're loving them at £9.99. I can't believe they're that price. Really can't believe it. Especially with Tim Holtz, you know, his designs, you know, to get Tim Holtz for that sort of price is pretty amazing, I'd say. £9.99 for 21, 48p each. But you're going to get 3 different types of flower. You can put that one inside that one inside that one, and so on. Or you can just use them as individuals if you wish and shape them with the tool set that's in the show today, and you'll be sorted.
Yeah, so I'm just twisting this around the quilling tool now, just to give it a little curl. I kind of don't want them to stay really curled, I just want them to be a little bit curled, if you like. So we'll pop those like that, and I'll just finally do it one more time. These would make lovely kind of corsages or something, wouldn't they? Because you've got all that little detail going off them.
And also they won't die on you halfway through the day.
No.
Which a lot of real flowers tend to do.
Yeah, especially in the warm weather, yeah.
So that's the quilling tool that you're using?
That's the quilling tool that I'm using. So we'll just chop the straight end off there.
Very nice.
Yeah. So there we go.
Lovely. How beautiful is that flower?
It's beautiful, isn't it? It's a really nice shape, that one.
Really lovely. So we've used our toolkit, obviously, but that is the die that gave us the shape in the first place, designed by Debbie Potter. That's the Asian flower. £14.99 is the price for that one. That's a Biggs die, remember, so you do need to have your Big Shot or one of those machines for it to work. OK, let's find out a little bit more then about the toolkit that is here today for the very first time. Take a look. It's amazing what you can do when you've got the right tools, and that's what we're bringing you today from Sizzix. The return, really, because they used to do these a little while ago, stopped doing them for a while. Now they've started to reproduce them again because everyone's asking for them, because when you've got ball tools like this, you can do so much with them. Now, one thing I've not really shown you very much about at all is this one just here. So let me just take that out of the container. This is what I was referring to when I say about the leaf veining tool. You've got this slightly curved, pointed nib. And that, when you actually put it into context, or into contact, should I say, with the mat here, the green mat, that gives you a very, very fine line, which is, of course, the veining on the leaves. So that's really effective and looks very realistic. You've got a small ball tool the other end of that, and you've then also got, remember, your quilling tool on one of these as well. There's 4 different sizes of ball tool in total, a quilling tool and also, of course, your leaf veiner. And then you've got your foam pad. That's what you'd use the ball tools on, so it creates that lovely kind of cupped roundness to it. And then this is what you'd use for your leaves. And that's £25.99 for all of that. And you get the scissors and also you get the tweezers as well. The tweezers are just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. £23.39 delivered if you're a Freedom member. Otherwise, £25.99 plus your P&P. So it makes sense to become a Freedom member. If you're going to buy something else from us during this month, join Freedom and save on your P&P. 432796. Lots of you are deciding that this is the kit that you want to go for. It's not just for flowers either, and also from a grip point of view and a dexterity point of view, you've got rubber collars at the bottom and at the top. So if you're doing quite a few, it gives you a really good grip, so they're not going to slip through your fingers as much. So very ergonomic, and they've thought about everything, really. 432796 from Sizzix. It is new today to us. If you'd like it, grab it. Makes a really thoughtful gift idea for anyone who loves their flowers, if you're buying or looking for a really cost-effective Christmas present that's going to be used. Now, our mini florals, they are proving very popular. We were able to get more stock on extended delivery. We're saying dispatch on Friday, a 3-day delivery, but to be honest, they might be sent out quicker than that. So we're saying Friday at the worst case scenario is when they'll be sent to you, but probably before. You might even get them by then. But if you want those, they're on the screen now. 21 of them for that price. Now, the meadow leaves. The meadow leaves, these are perfect to use in conjunction maybe with those flowers that we just showed you. These are very popular. They're the thinlet dyes, so they'll go through any machine you choose. You've got the beautiful ferns there. Again, you can use your veining tool for the veins on the leaves. You can also shape them using the ball tools as well, because no leaves are flat, are they? They've all got dimension. £9.98 for those. 242256, another great price on those. And if you look at a couple of the things we've got here in the studio using them, we've got a couple of leaves on that hexagon box and also the fern leaf just down there as well. So really good value. And again, like Katie was saying, you'll reach for these and use them so often. £9.98. 242256. Now, if you're thinking, well, I like the idea of these big dies, but I haven't actually got a big shot machine, we've got one on offer at the moment in stock. It's £84.99, so it's a saving actually of £25 off what the price should be. And remember, the base plate with the Sizzix Big Shot has got all the different levels that you need for embossing and die cutting, whether you're using the bigs or whether you're using the thinlets, whether you're using embossing folders, whatever, and you get 2 clear plates as well. And it's all metal on the inside, so it is a design that will last you, that lots of people choose to have as their firm favourite. So it's there at the moment, £25 off, and on 2 flexi buys of £42.50. That's what you pay today. No P&P to pay if you're a Freedom member, otherwise your P&P gets added to your first payment today. And it'd be lovely, wouldn't it, to have a machine that means you can use all the dyes? Oh, it just gives you the ability to use it for sewing, quilting, applique, papercraft, mixed media. And bearing in mind we've got the one-day special tonight from Sizzix with applique in mind and fabrics in mind. Order the machine now and you'll be sorted. You know what it's like, you start one craft and you think, oh, I'd quite like to try that, I'd quite like to try that. Yeah. If we could sell time, it would be good. It would be good. Yeah. So we're going to look at the 3D rose. Yep. I'm totally getting confused with all my flowers today. So we're going to just cut a couple of these, and we'll have a look how you use the, how that toolkit helps you with that as well. That's, yep. There we go. That's that one. Cut out. Perfect cut. But you look at it and you kind of think, well, how's that going to be a rose? Where does the rose come from? I know. Well, all will be revealed in a minute. Yeah, so we'll just cut a couple of leaves there as well. Then we can have a look at using the leaves as well to add the lines and things. There we go. So I would use my ball tools first of all, probably the big one. The second largest. Right, okay. No, I've only had these a couple of days and already I'm covered in glue. And then is that the texture? No, that's the texture. So we're going to then just use this to kind of shape all the edges of this. So already it's starting to, give it some dimension. Absolutely. You don't see straight petalled roses,
Never.
do you?
No, no.
I think we're at the busiest point of the show right now. Lots of you are coming in for all of the things we've got in the show, actually. I mean, you know, if you want flower dyes and leaves, you're in the right place. And if you want the tools to make them even look more realistic, that's what you need to get. That's on the screen now.
So then I'm just going around the other edge now. Just to, it's going to start, you'll see now, it really starts to curl in.
Yeah.
So then we're going to use the tweezers. This is where the tweezers come into their own with something like this. So use those to just grab the end. Now, obviously, once they've grabbed, I can let go of them because they close themselves. And then we are just going to start to twist. Now, the tighter you twist, the smaller your flower is going to be, basically.
Right.
You know, the more you loosen it up, the bigger the flower is going to be. It's going to be more open. So I'm going to remove the tweezers now. It's easier to take the tweezers out halfway than once you've totally twisted it.
And I suppose you can have a tight twist or a loose twist.
Yeah,
if you want.
totally.
Looser the twist, the more open the bud will be.
Yeah, so at the moment this looks really closed, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to bend the petals back in a minute. I'm going to use the tweezers again to bend the petals back.
Right.
So I'm just going to
hold that to grab
hold
for a
that.
second
Got glue
or
on
two.
my hand now as well as ink. I'm just literally I just want the glue to take hold. So
don't think Katie's stabbed herself or anything like that, because she was using quite a pigmented ink in the first show today, and it looks like
yeah,
it's been
there's
an
nothing
awful accident.
sinister going on here. It was literally I was making a poppy using really bright red pigment ink earlier on, and now I can't get it off. And I've tried. So then we're going to use the tweezers to fold out all those petals. And again, you can fold them out as much as you want. You know, you're totally in control of how much you want to fold these out.
When you need that extra pair of hands, those tweezers are always going to be there for you, which is great.
So then we've got the leaves as well, so we can add the leaves behind. So we'll take our firm mat now. And this is now how you start adding the
This is the first time we've shown you this hour, so this is how it works.
So you would literally just start at the top of your leaf and curl the line down.
Right.
So
with the point pointing up?
The point pointing up, yeah. And then, obviously, you can bend your leaf. If you want to add more, you know, you can start adding more dimension and detail if you want as well. And then I would take the smaller ball tool now and just go around the edges of the leaf.
Very realistic. If you wanted to add some distress inks or something like that to make it look a bit more autumnal, you could do that. Have a little play.
Yeah. So there you go.
Wow, look.
And that's just obviously one, you know, you could make lots of those with other leaves. But it just adds that really fine detail to your project.
Who would have thought that started life as a spiral? People would be wondering, how on earth have you made those roses? You've made those by hand? How have you done that? Your secret. It's the die that does it, and then just a little tweak here and there with the tweezers. Superb. So that is the 3D rose die, $14.99. It is one of the big ones, so it has to go through one of your big shop machines, OK? But $14.99 is a great price for that. Now, we've also... Oh, here it is. That's it, OK? So that's the spiral that Katie's just used. There's the leaf actually on the same die as well, which I think you can see easily enough. Can you see the slight sparkle of the blade inside there as well?
These
really
are
well made.
beautiful, cut from felt, actually. Because you can curl the felt around like that, and you get these beautiful, if you wanted to make brooches and things.
A foam aran as well, you can use it for that too.
Yeah, of course you could. Yeah, totally.
Loads of ways of using them. So that's the die, $14.99, 593053. And the mini flowers as well, 45% of the stock is gone. We had a sellout of this earlier on. Now, we reckon, we're saying a 3-day delayed dispatch on this, extended delivery, basically from Friday onwards you'll be having this sent. But we reckon it will probably go out sooner than that, but the latest it will be on Friday for delivery to you. £9.99 is the Hochanda price. Every element you see on the front packaging is a die on the inside. So you've got potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you've got potentially 6 layers of flowers to each one there, and you get 3 different types. You've got 4 layers to that one. Then you've got the leaves and you've got the branches there as well, but in a plastic wallet as well, so it keeps everything nice and neat. Just $9.99, bargain. 977 890. Let's show you some of the things, though, that we've been making before the show started today, using all the dies and also using the toolkit too. You can literally make dozens and dozens of different types of flowers when you've got the kit that's here today, the toolkit. Really cleverly put together, really well thought through. And these are the sort of tools that you'll always have right by your side on your craft table, because you don't just use ball tools for shaping of flowers. You can use them to shape anything. Maybe you want to shape your decoupage with them to create like a dome. Maybe you've got some Christmas baubles that you're going to be cutting out in the next couple of weeks, and you want to make them look more domed as well. Then again, you can use your ball tools for that as well. You've got your quilling tool, which has got multi-uses, and also, of course, you've then got your veining tool that we just showed you how to use on the leaves as well. A quality pair of scissors, and also the actual tweezers here are brilliant. They're worth their weight in gold, they really are. That is your shaping mat, so that gives you the kind of curve to your petals, and that is the pad that you can use with your leaf veining tool. $25.99 if you're not a Freedom member, or $23.39 if you are. That's a delivered price to Freedom Club members. 432-796. Then the bundle of flowers, this is the next one, which is a Biggs die. This is the biggest Biggs die in the show today, and it actually cuts out 3 flowers in one go. You've got your gerbera down the bottom, and then the ones that I kind of refer to as being quite tulip-like, the ones that have got like a funnel look to them, they're on there as well, and also leaves, and also the middle of the flower. That strip is there to replicate the middle. So whether you're making daisies, gerberas, whatever you want to do with them, these dies are going to be absolutely invaluable. And they're, of course, on the picture in the front there in a vase, and they'd look fantastic in a vase. They really would. And they're on the picture, of course, that's in front of me as well. So if I just hold this up for you. Just 3 of them in a frame. Doesn't have to be an expensive one, but that's lovely wall art. So if you're selling it, you probably get, what, £15, £20 for that? I think so. £20.99 for the die that cuts it all out for you. 529441, your item number. Now, we've got our tattered florals for you. Now, these are the busiest and the biggest selling Biggs die that Sizzix have actually done. You can see why, because they are just such a very inexpensive and such a useful die to have. It cuts out basically 4 flowers in one go, and it's only £14.99. And again, the way you treat them, the way you ink them, the colour cardstock you use, the way you shape them, you can make them into so many different types of flower, and they're all on the white frame just here. So this is, again, lovely wall art that looks like it's cost you a fortune. Once you've bought the frame, all it's cost you really is a little bit of money for the cardstock. And all of these are basically cut out by this Biggs die. So that's been inked and then scrumpled a little bit to make it look kind of poppy-like, I suppose. But all of these are exactly the same shape. They've just been shaped in a different way. $14.99, 605 534 is your item number if you want that one. That's another Biggs die as well. Then we have the Finlet dies. Now, these go in any machine. Very popular, very busy for this. So if you've got your Gemini or whatever the machine may be, absolutely no problem with the Finlets. They go through every machine that's out there. Even your smaller mouth machines would, I'm sure, be fine with these as well. And just as versatile and as useful as the flowers themselves. £9.98. That's a great reduction, because they should be nearly £14, £13.98. So you're getting £4 off, which is about a third off the price. 242256 is your item number. Then we have our tattered leaves. So if you've gone for the tattered florals and you want the tattered leaves that kind of complement the tattered florals, then here is this Biggs die. There we go. Look, that's the cartridge. And that's the leaves that will cut out. 3 at a time. £14.99, 875 Great for your mixed media as well as your card making and your scrapbooking as well. And we've got, this is one of the actual dies. This is leather. So whether it's leatherette, whether it's real leather, whether it's balsa wood, whether it's vinyl, craft metal, anything like that, these Biggs dies are designed to go through up to 6 layers of cotton in one go as well. Here also another beautiful flower cut out of felt using one of the dies as well. Maybe it's the rose die that we're coming on to. But there's that leaf cut out in leather. Perfect. 14.99, 875 102. Then we have the Asian flower. This is probably the most exotic of all of them, and again, that little twist that Katie did on the petals really made it come to life. And you can use your flower shaping tools as well. I mean, that's been cut out of felt on the front of the packaging, but of course it can be used in all sorts of ways. As I mentioned, lots of other mediums you can use with the big dies. 14.99, 633 063, and just showing them to you on the basket behind. There we are. Look, and also on the little. There we are, the little pillow cushion box. There we are on a little jar of mints, and then decorating the handle of the wicker basket. 14.99, 633 063 for your Asian flower. Then we have our 3D rose, which is what we were using a few minutes ago, the one that comes out as a spiral that you use your quilling tool on to just, there we are, and that's it done. There's the finished rose. Beautiful, isn't it? Looks so realistic. 14.99, 593 053, and that's a big die as well. Beautiful. And then the mini florals down the end here. These are 21 dies in total. They come in a plastic wallet as well, so everything kind of stays in place. You're not going to lose anything, hopefully. Over half the extra stock that we were able to get for the show has gone. Tell your friends, if you've got a Secret Santa and your budget is £10, what about that as the gift? Everyone would love receiving that because you always want flowers. 3 different flowers in about 6 different sizes for both of those, and 4 different sizes for the bottom one. And then you've got your petals, or your leaves, sorry, and then you've got your branch too. 977 890, Hochanda price, only £9.99. And the website's got everything there. If you have a little look at hochanda.com, you'll see the toolkits there. And you'll also see people's comments and reviews about the dies before, because all of these dies have been on air before, always firm favourites. And you can just basically click on the reviews and see what people have said. There's one review on there, 5-star, arrived in good time and in excellent condition. Jolly good, that's what we like to hear. Fab. So it's all there, hochanda.com. OK, Katie, you've got about 7 minutes on the show.
So we've got the mini tattered florals here.
Yeah.
So I've already pre-cut those. Then we'll just have a look at different ways again in which you can shape them. So I think, first of all, we'll take the yellow ones and we'll shape these a little bit here, and then we'll use the tweezers to bend the petals in on this one. Because you can see the pink ones are identical to the yellow ones that I've cut. So we're working with exactly the same flower here.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the different flower of the pack or anything. This is still the same. But we'll give this a little curl in this time.
And just have a play. Just fiddle with them and see what looks good, what doesn't.
Yeah. And layer them up, you know, do it with lots of layers. But don't, every layer that you create doesn't all have to be folded in exactly the same way, because flowers tend to fold in on themselves, don't they, or else come out. So this one will...
Well, I always say it about flowers and petals, nothing is exact.
Nope.
It's all random.
It is totally random, yeah.
So if one petal moves one way and another one moves another way,
that makes it look really realistic,
it does,
actually. Really good. So we'll... You can see you can grab the tiniest of detail with these tweezers as well, you know, so just the tiny little ends of the petals here we're using.
Now, if you're planning an event maybe next year or something that's going to require maybe favour boxes or table decorations or anything like that, especially weddings and civil partnerships and things, these are going to be an absolute boon, because you can really dress the table beautifully.
Yeah, and it does make it really fast and effortless as well. You know, sometimes, as I was saying earlier, when I'm working with flowers, sometimes my hands hurt where you're trying to bend them in, but this, it makes it so much easier to do so. So this tiny little one here, we're just going to fold in. So then let's use the small ball tool, because this... And you can see, if I start doing that now, that all folds in on itself.
It does.
It encloses it, so that's going to give us a lovely kind of centre of the flower. Where's my glue gun gone? There's the lead. A bit of glue. So we'll stick that into kind of the next enclosed one, if you like, so that they start... Oh! This is the only problem with the glue gun. You get the string everywhere.
Get your strings, yeah.
All the flowers end up joining together. Pop that one in there. This almost looks like a daffodil. You could have that if you had a brighter yellow.
Yeah, it does.
Go around there.
Or a buttercup.
Yeah, so that's one of the flowers. So then, again, this is the totally same flower, but we're going to give it a totally different look this time. So this one will kind of manipulate them that way a bit. And then we'll bend them out this way. And then when we go to the centre, That'll make it stand out, if you like.
Absolutely. And this is, what sort of GSM cardstock are we talking about?
This is textured cardstock, so it's probably about 260, something like that,
Right.
220, 260.
But you can use vellum. It worked very, very well with vellum if you wanted to do that. Centura Pearl cardstock it will work with.
Yeah. Anything really, kind of like, you know, your standard cardstock, so say it's like 300 GSM. You don't tend to use anything thicker than that just for papercraft, if
No,
you like,
not
do
really,
you?
no.
You know, and then because you then go onto the mount board. So, we'll pop these on.
It's when you put them in and layer them into each
I
other
know.
that it really starts to come to life. And if you're thinking, I can't make flowers, no
Yeah,
way.
Anybody
you
can with this.
Get the dye, get the shaping tools. Everyone can make flowers.
I think this is a brilliant gift for Christmas for somebody, if you know they're into die cutting, but then you never know what dyes they've already got, do you? But
No.
something like this is perfect. So then I've just quickly cut some meadow leaves here as well. So...
Now, the meadow leaves have been going very, very quickly, actually. I think an awful lot of you who went for the 21 dyes with the flowers are going for the meadow leaves to kind of complement them, and they are the perfect complement. Approaching 80% of the meadow leaves gone. They are the thinlet dyes as well, so there's no restrictions on what machine you can use with those, provided they go through the mouth of the machine, with their wide, you know, machine's wide enough. They're going to do the job.
Yeah, so you can see, you really start adding the detail, just by adding those lines to it.
They're great quality, those tools, aren't they?
Really good quality. It's typical physics quality, really. You know, it's really good. They look nice as well, don't they?
Absolutely.
So then if you wanted to, if you use your ball tool now, just on the stem bit, you'd get that curl. So maybe if you do half that way and half that way, then you get
Very
it.
realistic.
It's really pretty.
And again, you know, if you've got... The thinlet dyes can still cut through fabric, but not 8 layers at a time, like the big dyes can. You can still cut through a layer of cotton with one of these dyes, couldn't you?
Yes, yeah. If you use the position base plate.
Yeah.
Oh, I've stuck it to the mat now. It just shows how they work lovely together, don't they? So just pop... Oh! Sorry, everything's joining together. Fold that one. What it does, when you score this leaf as well, it enables you to fold it so it stands up as well. There, we'll just pop that there. I mean, you could just keep going and add layers and layers, but look at all these we have made.
Wow, beautiful.
Today.
Yeah. That's the culprit. That's the one that's...
Isn't it just?
Dyed Katie's hands red. Oh, not as bad as
you can
what it
see
was.
they're fading. We're getting there. It's
Yeah, we're getting
improving
there.
by the minute.
All of these flowers Katie's made in the first show and in the second show today. It doesn't take long. When you've got the right dyes and you've got the right toolkit, you'll get realistic-looking flowers very, very easily. I think probably my favourite one is this one, the Asian flower.
Yeah, I like that one. I do. I think it's really pretty, that.
So realistic and so exotic.
Really pretty. Quite like this poppy as well, mind you. Like the
Yeah.
poppy.
Yeah, the poppy's lovely.
They're just fun. It just depends, you know, what project you're working on as well, doesn't it?
And, I mean, that one even stands up on its own. That's got its own little stand at the back. Yeah.
Thank you.
Now, if you want to have a little look at all the dyes we've got in the show, all the flowers you can make from them, they're on the website, hochanda.com, and the leaves are on there as well. But certainly one of the stars of the day has to be that we've got this brand new toolkit from Sizzix in today, and the quality's superb, ergonomically designed, gorgeous quality. It's going to last you years and years. And yeah, to be honest, you'll always want this by your side because you're always going to need scissors. You're always going to need tweezers. The ball tools, whichever one you need, there's 4 different sizes, double-ended. And you get the leaf veiner and you also, of course, get the quilling tool as well. So all of that for $25.99 plus $2.95 P&P. Otherwise, if you're a Freedom member, you don't have to pay that. It's $23.39 delivered to your door for that price as well, which is pretty amazing value for money. Katie, safe journey home.
Thank you.
Hope your shepherd performs well.
I do too. I'm not back to the new year now.
Oh,
That's me. I'm done.
Happy Christmas.
Yeah, you too.
Brilliant. I'll see you a bit later this afternoon, though, with that Sizzix One Day Special. Don't go anywhere. So yes, we have some cross-stitch for you by Stitch Kits coming up next. Then Leslie's here, Leslie Walton with Chocolate Baroque. And then we're back with Digi Crafting. It's the one-day special final call at 5.